Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for a Rugby League World Cup quarter-final, a massive clash taking place between the home side, England, taking on the always passionate Papua New Guinea. By the looks of it, it's raining once again in England. No surprises there. A majority of the games of this Rugby League World Cup have been affected by a little bit of downpour every once in a while. But this is a massive game. Papua New Guinea come in as heavy favourites, but they had a good pool stage, and they will be looking to once again pull off the unexpected, which is for them to be able to take down the home side. England, Papua New Guinea will win, says Robert, and also Baraka said, go Papua New Guinea. Kummels, you can do it, boys, and it's time, and may the best team win. Go Papua New Guinea, Kummels, all the best of luck, says Rhonda there as well. But we will look through at the starting lineup, first of all, of this English side. It is going to be Sam Tompkins at number one at the back. He's been solid throughout this Rugby League World Cup. Tommy Makinson out on the wing. Watkins and Farnworth will be the centre pairing with Dominic Young, one of the players of the tournament, out on the right-hand side. Then Jack Welshby will be there at number 6. So that is actually what they decided to go with in their first game up against the Samoans. George Williams, he will be there at number 7. Now looking through at the strong forward pack that they have gone with Tom Burgess, Michael McIlram at number 9, Chris Hill, Elliot Whitehead, John Bateman, and Victor Radley. So I do know that there's actually a few changes from what I have got compared to what they've gone with in their starting lineup, as there is Pierce Paul in this lineup at number 24. He is no longer there in the starting lineup for the English side. But looking through at the reserves, they are going to be Morgan Knowles, Matty Lees, Mike Cooper, and Mike McMeekin, with Kai Pierce Paul as the last man on the reserves bench. So that is the English side, the home team for this matchup. Now we look at the challenges. The travelling side, Papua New Guinea, they have been sensational. Like I mentioned, they play with passion, they play with heart, and you always know you're going to get 110% out of their lineup. But looking through, it will be Alex Johnson slotting in at the back with Jimmy Nutlick out on one wing, McDonald and Justin Olam. There were still question marks on whether Olam was going to be match fit for this game, but it does seem like he is going to be all right. He had a slightly lighter workload in the last contest up against Wales, and I believe was because they were saving him for this exciting quarterfinal. Roderick Tai at number 20. Kyle Labour seems to be coming into some great form lately, and Lachlan Lamb, the last man in the back line for the Kummels. Looking through at the forwards, Wellington Albert, they're at number 18. Then Edwin Apape has been playing very well. He is at number 9. Namo, Nixon Put, also Reece Martin, the skipper, and Jacob Alick as the last man in the starting lineup. On the interchange bench will be Dan Russell, Mackenzie Yeh, Simbakin, and Boas as the last man there for the interchanges. Looking through at how these two sides did throughout their group stages. As you can see there, England, they were top of their bunch, having 3 from 3 wins with a massive points differential of 168. It was extremely well done. First game up against Samoa, winning it by around that 50 points, really set the tone for their whole Rugby League World Cup that they did want to have ahead of them. Whereas we look at Papua New Guinea, they were able to get themselves the win over the Cook Islands and Wales. They were narrowly defeated by Tonga, only by the 6 points. But Tonga's points differential certainly a lot further up there after their impressive win over the Cook Islands in their most recent game. But Papua New Guinea, plus 46, they'll still be relatively happy with that, although they know in this game, points differential, yes, it matters, but they only need to win this game by 1 point. And that is the points differential they'll be after, at least in this contest. And if they can do that, they go on to the semi-final, where they will be facing the winner of Samoa versus Tonga. That's a massive game as well. We're covering that on the channel as well. Good afternoon or good morning to you. Says James Cody, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Betty has said, go PNG Kummels in the chat as well. And hey, Hamish, long time, brother. I thought you would have done live streaming on the Fiji and Scotland game, says Junior Ryder. We were going to, although it did overlap with this matchup. So we did decide to go with the Rugby League Cup quarterfinal. Then we have also got the All Blacks versus Wales coming up a little bit later on today. South Africa versus Ireland. And then also alongside that, we are going to be having the matchup between New Zealand and Fiji, which is the other quarterfinal that has taken place today. And that will also be a very awesome fixture indeed. Like I mentioned, it is pouring down at the moment at the stadium, something that we've gotten, I guess, a bit more used to with this World Cup taking place in England. You can never trust the English weather, as these players are now learning, but we are just about to have the national anthems of both sides. Then we will be underway. Fiji game is really good, says James Cody in there. I saw that Fiji were doing pretty well up against the Scottish, winning the game 12 points to 7, I think was the last score that I did see. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in this contest, who do you see winning it? Do you see England the favourites getting themselves the victory, or will Papua New Guinea be able to dig deeper than maybe they have ever done before in a World Cup to be able to pull off the upset, knock out the home side, and make their way through to a Pacific Island clash in the semi-final? One thing's for sure, it's going to be entertaining from start to finish, and I cannot wait to see who is able to get themselves the victory. I'm looking out definitely for Dominic Young in this English lineup. Kate Middleton having a handshake there with Reece Martin. I'm not too sure what the reasoning behind that is. I guess she is greeting all of the players. Probably would have liked a better day for it, I would think. And it's 21-12, says James Cody. So I assume that is in favour of Fiji, isn't it, James? Or has Scotland be able to get themselves 12 or 21 points to 12 up? Do let me know. But Papua New Guinea, if I had to pick one player to watch out for in this lineup, it would be easy to go with the Pape, but I think I'm going to go with Justin Alam, only because of how quiet he was in the last match. I think he's been saving himself for a big final. He's going to go out there and certainly put everything on the line, because after this 80 minutes, there's nothing left for Papua New Guinea if they get knocked out of this competition. But if they manage to fight deep, work hard in this contest, then that is really where we're going to get to see Papua New Guinea fly, just like the Kummel that they will be trying to represent. And go the Kummels, and good luck, says Frida. And also do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, from Papua New Guinea, what is the time currently? I believe it's just after midnight, if I'm not wrong, or it will be finishing just after midnight, this game. And PNG Kummels go for Papua New Guinea, says Johnny there. And the thing is, I've fallen in love with the way that Papua New Guinea play throughout this Rugby League World Cup. We just see so much passion, so much heart from their side. They know that the whole country's behind them, and they just don't want to give up while they're out there. And who is going to win a heartbeat 60 times more faster? PNG says Godfrey. Yeah, as soon as this match gets underway, I think the tensions will be high. Everyone will be nervous. And 12:27 a.m. here, says Amon. Yeah, it's hugely appreciated, all you guys getting up in the middle of the night, unless, of course, you haven't slept, which I assume might be the case. Definitely if you knew that Papua New Guinea were going to be playing this matchup in the middle of the night. And good luck to both teams, says Larson there. And good luck to both teams. And good luck, Kummels, says it was Nate. And go Papua New Guinea, Kummels, says Percy. So do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, your score predictions for this game. I believe earlier on in the week I said England to win it by 12. I'm getting a little bit closer now, though. In fact, with the rainy weather, even though I think it benefits England, I'm going to go optimistic and say Papua New Guinea win this game by 4. I know it's a prediction that won't be very popular. Definitely could be a very tough one to be able to get right, but I'm actually going to say that Papua New Guinea, I've just got that feeling. I don't know whether or not I'm thinking with my head or my heart, but my heart says Papua New Guinea for this contest. They want to go on and get themselves a massive win. And by the way, the Guinness is in full flow right now, says James Cody. And also it's 12:27 a.m. here. And Papua New Guinea, says Baddie. And I woke up, blow the whistle, and PNG will stand to support our team. The Kummel, says Mono. And go the Kummel, says Liam. And there as well. But Sam Tompkins is going to be excited for this game for the English. That's the thing. They mentioned about their coach. He grew up 200 meters from the stadium. And now to be able to coach an international side at that ground, which is just down the road from his old house, is absolutely huge for him. He will have so much emotion invested into this contest, which is why his team selection, he has said they had to get it perfect. And that's what they've tried to go for. Whereas for Papua New Guinea, they've actually got 4 players in. They've brought in Mackenzie Ye, Sylvester Nemo, also Boas and Apo. Whereas the players out, no Emmanuel Wayne for this contest. Tamabi, Tenza, and John also miss out. Am not sleeping, says Fessy there. And that is fair enough for this game. And 24 points for England and 30 to Papua New Guinea. And also Titi has said, go Papua New Guinea. And in the chat as well at the moment, Kate Middleton is just meeting all of the players at this stage. Sam Tompkins just doing the introductions. Then we will be into the national anthems. And then this match will be getting underway. It was scheduled initially for 3:30 a.m. to be the start time. That's not quite going to be the case, maybe around 3:35 or so. But one thing's for sure, this game is still taking place, and it's going to be an absolutely incredible one. I feel like it's got the potential of being the best of all of the quarterfinals. Papua New Guinea is watching 100, says Johnny. And there as well. But looking through at that group stage for Papua New Guinea, once again, for anyone who didn't see, they did finish second in their grouping, which is why they are facing England as they finish number 1. So Tonga versus Samoa, they are clashing tomorrow night. Whoever wins that game will then make themselves known as the other semi-finalists against the winner of this contest. So there's a chance we could see a rematch from this group. We could see Tonga versus Papua New Guinea. We could see a rematch from this match or this group England versus Samoa. Anything on the side of the draw can happen. We could see a Trans-Tasman semi-final between New Zealand and Australia on the other side of the draw. We will know who wins that fixture a little bit later on tonight when we do New Zealand versus Fiji. But yeah, it's going to be an absolutely awesome contest. And you think the Wallabies will topple the French? It's going to be a tough game. France at home are certainly a side that are hard to deny, definitely with the win streak they find themselves on. So I'm going to say France will be a little bit too strong. The fact they've got Dupont at number 9 as well, I think he's really going to be a magician for them throughout that matchup. Kate Middleton still just greeting all the players, having a bit of a chat with the children in the front as well. And then they are just about to be getting underway, probably taking a little bit longer than they anticipated. Can't wait to scream and wake everyone up. Go the couple, says Liam. The thing is, though, surely in Papua New Guinea, if I've learned anything over the last few weeks, everyone is already awake because Papua New Guinea are going to be in action. It's one of those ones, I mentioned it on the last stream. I think Papua New Guinea is one of the only places you can call into work late and say, I was watching the rugby, and they go, fair play, how did the Kummels go? Rather than saying, you're fired. And I feel like that's going to be the thing. Everyone's going to be going to work late tomorrow morning if Papua New Guinea get themselves the massive win. I think Dominic Young is having a bit of emotion on his face there. You can see the fact that he is really feeling every part of the responsibility of wanting to play well in this contest. England 28, Papua New Guinea 18. Beatty will boost his value in NRL. Keep your hands off CPP, says, and it was Peter Mason, and got a feeling that they could cause an upset. Wallabies won the series last year. Junior Ryder, says Nate, in there as well. So yeah, maybe they are able to get themselves the upset win over France. We will be keeping you updated with the score of that game alongside the score of New Zealand versus Fiji a bit later on. We will be doing the commentary for New Zealand-Fiji later on, though. And now Kate Middleton will make her way off the field. Wonder where William is. He isn't there at the ground, I don't believe. Maybe not much of a rugby fellow, although I think he watches a bit of it, if I'm not wrong. Prince William, or is it Harry who's more of the rugby buff out of the royal family? But now we will just about hear God Save the King, I should say, for the English national anthem, and then also the Papua New Guinea national anthem, and then we are underway for this fixture. Do let me know who is going to be the first try scorer in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. For me, I am going with Jimmy Nutlick. I think that will be a very good choice, even though they aren't supposed to be scoring the first try of this match. That's the thing. England should score first, but I think Nutlick's going to cause a little bit of an upset here. Whoever's kicking off, I think Papua New Guinea get the possession after a couple of phases and then really pour it on. And I have to mention it, Xavier Coates. What a huge shame that he wasn't able to take part in this Papua New Guinea Rugby World Cup. He would have loved to be there. Unfortunately, the body just gave out right before the first matchup, and he hasn't been able to play since. William is at Wales, says James Cody, and also go the Kummels fly high tonight, says Alfonso in the chat as well. And as we see once again, Papua New Guinea, they have got the support of the crowd. In fact, even though this game's in England, it seems like maybe there's just as many Papua New Guinea supporters in the attendance as English, although saying that, I think it's more the amount of noise that they are making. There's certainly more people than the ones in the background for me. I think, don't even know if I see a single person, unless maybe that might be one there. He might be doing something with some cables or something. He might be the only one in attendance, whereas for this game, they have got a lot more at the game. There's a lot more rain falling in the real-life match as well, which is a shame, as normally that will mean that Papua New Guinea's handling will be a little bit lower than we would have liked to see in Hamish Poor Samoa, says Aiden. Yeah, their game up against Italy is certainly not going the way that they wanted it to. I believe it's currently sitting about 49 points to 7, somewhere along those lines. And Nate, it's going to be close to point. Holds the key for France. I don't think France will win. Or I do think France will win, sorry, says Junior Ryder. And there we have just had the Papua New Guinea national anthem, which means it is almost time for the action to begin in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Papua New Guinea versus England. It's a matchup of the weekend that I think I was looking forward to the most, just because I know that both of these sides are going to go out there and throw everything into it. England, they've got home field advantage. They have had a tremendous group stage, winning all of their games with a points differential of plus 168. It doesn't get much better than that across 3 games. Go the Kummels, let the Kummel fly, says Hilda there. And Springboks or Ireland, Hamish, says Aiden. Ireland at home are a tough side to beat, but I think I'm picking the Boks by 3 as the prediction for that matchup, but I could definitely be wrong. In fact, I could almost guarantee you that I will be for that matchup. But England have sung God Save the King, which now means We are about to be underway for this match, ladies and gentlemen. Papua New Guinea 16, England 12 is the prediction, says Baraktia. Okay, so a slightly lower scoring game, but very close one. And the thing is, I haven't seen anyone really saying England will win this game by more than 10 by the looks of it, which is actually nice to see. I feel like shows a lot of respect for the way that Papua New Guinea have been playing throughout this World Cup. They know they won't go down without a fight in this contest. And I really hope it's not a similar scoreline to what we saw between Samoa and England in that first game, or else that would be quite a shame for the quarterfinal. But now, just about to be underway for this contest. So my score prediction, I believe I went with the Papua New Guineans by 4. I will say the end score in this contest, it will be 22 points to Papua New Guinea, 18 to England. See if we're correct. I feel like I'll be a long way off, though. Let's go the Kummels. 10 Lock Street says TPNG, and go the Kummels says Killer Jimmy. And there as well. So they are just marking Movember, getting underway there at the ground. So that is why Cape Middleton is actually there at the ground. There are a couple massive mustaches spray painted onto the field as well, I should mention, to mark the Movember month as well. But now, a big round of applause goes around the ground. I think this match has started about probably 5 to 10 minutes later than people anticipated in High Men. There's John, the home of football. Watch along. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well, I should say. And Alex Johnson, score a try. Let's go. There's Aiden there, and Aiden Springboks by 5. There's Junior Ryder as the prediction there as well. So it seems like a lot of people backing the underdogs in that game between the Springboks and Ireland. Papua New Guinea coming in as $10 underdogs in this matchup up against the English. So heavy underdogs. And greetings from Torba Province, Vanuatu. I love the Kummels, says Callum there, but they are just showing the starting lineups. Once again, watch out in the starting lineup for England for Dominic Young. He's been out on the wing. He's been tremendous throughout this Rugby League World Cup. Before the match, they mentioned how one of the commentators had him on par with what Addo Carr has been able to do for Australia. And just to put that into perspective, Addo Carr scored 5 tries in the last quarterfinal match up against Lebanon. So they're certainly rating Dominic Young highly. Also in that back line, I mean, you've got Makinson out on the other wing. I think that's where England will really try and get the ball early, test out that Papua New Guinea defence. But you've got Jimmy Nudlick out on one wing, Roderick Tai out on the other, and Johnson. He is yet to have a massive game in this Rugby League World Cup. Maybe, just maybe, he has been saving it for the finals. And score prediction, Kummels 18, England 12. And also be an interesting game. I hope all is well on your side, says Nate there. Yeah, Alex Johnson. Could this now be the game that he turns it up to 100? He's had a brilliant NRL season. In fact, he's had one of the best NRL seasons out of any player in the NRL, but he has yet to score a try in this Rugby League World Cup. And question, brother, any players out might cause problems for either teams, says Alex. So for me, looking through the out list, Mark Sneyd being out relatively late. I believe he was initially going to be in the lineup for England, so that may have changed a couple things in their tactics. Emmanuel Wayne out for Papua New Guinea, normally very hard when he comes to running with the ball, but he has been taken out. Also out Tanabe, Tenza, and John. And then for England, Batchelor, Eckers, Udlitsky, and also Ryan Hall, the last man, who has been taken out. So I'd say not too many in those players who you'd say have a huge impact, but the players who have been brought in for England certainly look more dangerous than the players who have been brought in for Papua New Guinea for this contest. But this game, just about to get underway. It's going to be a very entertaining one. There we go. We have got the scoreboard up, ready to go for this match. You've nearly got 90% of viewers that are going to be disappointed, says Peter Mason. So I assume you are talking the poll, and I guess it's 10% in favour of England being able to win this game. But a lot of people, like I mentioned, one thing you get with Papua New Guinea every single time they play is the heart and the soul of the country. And they will want to see this PNG side go on and do great things in this Rugby League World Cup, and they've got the potential to do so. We can do it again, boys. Step with you guys. And there says Elijah, I'm watching from Daru, Papua New Guinea, and also England 50, Papua New Guinea 12. It is going to be kicked off by England, and this quarterfinal now is underway. Labour takes it nicely, and big shot coming in from England straight away from Victor Radley. It seems like both sides are going to be well and truly up for it in the early stages of the contest, firing some big shots away. Now Reece Martin, the skipper, now tries to crash his way forward. It seems like Papua New Guinea, the tactic that they will use is just use pure strength and power for their first set, try and make those extra meters. But England are well and truly up for you guys watching right now, says ZBD. So I'm watching on Spark Sport. For anyone who is in New Zealand, that is exactly where you can catch the action for this game. It's going to be now Roderick Tai hits it up at the line. Around the side there for Papua New Guinea. They moved to 40 metres out from their line. So throughout that first set of 5, they managed to make 26 metres. Now kicked way downfield off the Papua New Guineans' kicker's left foot, taken by Tompkins. Looping around, here comes Dominic Young, one of the superstars in this English lineup. He's going to be driven sideways, and it looks like he's not going down. Great leg strength from the young winger. It's back up to his feet. First tackle for the English, sitting about 40 metres out from their line. Go Papua New Guinea, says Nathaniel. And also, all is good, brother. Hope you're good. Just waiting for the AB's game, says Junior Ryder. And that is coming just around the corner as well. We will have the commentary for that matchup on the channel. For the first half, though, it will be my parents who are doing the commentary for the match. Now another big attacking run from the English. Chris Hill moves up to 40 metres out from Papua New Guinea's line. Now going off to the left-hand side here, England, they have made more metres in their first set than we did see. From the Kummels trying to get back up to his feet there. Big Tom Burgess was able to score in the very first game of the competition up against Samoa. Chipped in behind, claimed by England, looking for the offload back, and they've been able to do just that. Now only 5 metres out from the line. It will be the handover. I believe it's actually going to be the handover. Yes, it is. I thought for a second they were going to try and say there was a penalty. I know England were protesting for something. He's somehow been able to flick that out the back, though, keep the ball alive in the process of falling down. So Papua New Guinea, only 10 metres out from their line, are now trying to break their way through. Hamish, do you think Wales will cause an upset against the ABs? I don't believe so. I don't think the Welsh side, from the squad that they've gone with, has got the names that will be able to cause a real upset, if that makes sense. Like, they are missing Dan Bigger at 10. I feel like if they had him there, maybe they'd have a bit more of a chance. Also missing a couple other forwards from their lineup. Papua New Guinea go tipping Justin Plan to score 2 tries. Heads up Papua New Guinea Kummels, says Matthew there as well. Now charging forward at the line, it's once again going to be the number 11 Nixon Put, and he had a fantastic game last week. We'll be looking to continue that momentum. Apape goes off to the right-hand side. I swear he's put on more muscle since last week, Apape. I don't know if that's possible, but he certainly looks like he has. Maybe he just got a good gym session in before the matchup. 3 minutes into this contest, Dominic Young takes it nicely for England after receiving the kick, moving up to 40 out from their own line now, England, and he drives almost up to the halfway line with the post contact meters. Another good carry. The coach of England very happy with what has been happening so far. That contact looked pretty high, but it was a good one in the end from the Kummels defence. Go Papua New Guinea, says Melchior there. And also we have got there rules the waves. There's Randolph. Great run from Tom Burgess. And like they're saying, the big meters made every single time that one of those big forwards for England get themselves a little bit of space. Labour makes a great tackle there. Now England only sitting about 18 metres out from Papua New Guinea's line, looking off to the right-hand side. Nice drawn pass from George Williams. Now still continuing to keep it going for Jack Welshby back in the side for this matchup. He was playing in the starting lineup for the game up against the Samoans, and also go the Kummels. Says Sanitha there in Papua New Guinea. Give a go. It's a little mistake there from Alarm. Unfortunately, Justin Alarm has put that ball down. It's going to be a scrum feed for England. Little grubber in behind from Sam Tompkins, I should say, sorry. And Justin Alarm just not able to hang on to that one. And also really wishing this game will be shown live. Says Moses, yeah, unfortunately, due to licensing, if we were to show any match footage or audio, YouTube would take us straight down. We would possibly get sued as well, and that would not be ideal because then we would have to find a lot of money to be able to pay for a lawsuit. Currently 4.5 minutes through. England going to have themselves a scrum from only about 10 or 15 metres out, watching in Mount Hagen Highlands of Papua New Guinea. Go Papua New Guinea, says Tony, and Alam to score the opening try, says Nathaniel there as well. Ball fed in, 10 metres out now for England. Going off the short side, Williams now gives it off to Farnworth with a nice step on him. Going straight through the middle. Dragged down by his collar. That is a brilliant tackle made by Wellington Albert. It saved the try, but for how long? England once again get close. Burgess spins. Did he get it down over the line? He's claiming it. He's actually decided he's not even going to try and roll it back. England score the first try of the contest, and it is Tom Burgess who has got himself the try. Papua New Guinea, good luck with your dreams, says Jake. And there as well, but that was a brilliant bit of play from the big man, Tom Burgess. He's impossible to stop when he gets close to the line. And 4 tries in the Rugby League World Cup 2021, so he has certainly been pouring it on for the English. But I mentioned about how many tries these men have been able to score throughout this competition, but it all came from that mistake of Justin Olam, unfortunately knocking the ball on, giving the possession back to England, and then having another set of 6 right out in front of the post was always going to be asking for trouble. And the Kummels have conceded the first try of the match. And also, let's go, says Nate there, but Tom Burgess just stretches out, uses his size, gets the ball down, and now the score will be, after this kick goes over, 6-0 in favour of the home side, England. Papua New Guinea, they've got the potential. They have conceded the first try in some of their other matches, but they have still been able to find their way back into it, and this will be one of those matches that they have to try to do just that. Currently sitting 6 minutes in, a successful kick over from Tommy Makinson, and that is going to make the score 6-0. A less mistaken penalty and sets complete. Papua New Guinea could win, says Chris, and that is something we were talking about in their last match as well. We noticed their discipline near the end of the game was lacking a bit more than they would have liked, and also those handling errors creeping in. I mentioned with the rain falling, I would say it benefits England, because Papua New Guinea are one of those sides that when it's dry, they just seem to be able to pull off all of their miracle passes that make them such a unique and entertaining side to watch. But now kick down deep. England give it off to Tom Burgess, who will hit it up at the line again and takes the big contact driven backwards by Sylvester Namo and also Albert Alam. And also tell you what, the whole team's decided they want to try and tackle Burgess at this point in time. Now the offload found England starting to find a little bit of momentum by the looks of deciding to pass it off a few more times than they normally would at the start of a set. And up at the line, it was Chris Hill. Now going to the left-hand side for England. Bit of an overlap starting to open up. Tompkins, ball's on the outside. Gives it off to Makinson, who now cuts back inwards. Trying to break through the line, but Wellington Albert able to drag him down on the halfway line. The post-contact meters, though, from England were impressive. Papua New Guinea give best pride, says Jake there, and watch the Kummels, says Henry. And there as well. Now, once again, it will be available in the midfield. Callum Watkins. In fact, sorry, it was Bateman that time to hit the ball up. Get him back up to his feet. That's 6 again. Another mistake from Papua New Guinea. We mentioned it earlier on. They can't afford to be ill-disciplined, and giving away a 6 again when you've made your 5th and final tackle is pretty much a massive mistake, and it's going to hurt them big time, I would think, for Papua New Guinea, as England are now going to be attacking on the short side. Tompkins with the grubber in mind. It sits up for England, and Makinson gets another, and that is going to be 2 mistakes, 2 tries for England. Papua New Guinea struggling in the early stages of the contest. 8 minutes in already, 10-0 for the English. And also, when they come on, the Kummel says Galabi. It sounds like you're saying Mbappe, says Junior Ryder there. That is going to be very nicely done by England. The kick in behind. Once again, I mentioned it. Papua New Guinea. First time, it was the mistake from Alam. Second time, it was the set restart that they gave away that gave the English an extra 5 tackles to make the most of it. They would have been back about 30 or 40 more metres with a kick downfield. Instead, the mistake happened, and now England have been able to really be clinical, and that is something they've done throughout this whole Rugby World Cup. You cannot afford to make mistakes up against the English, or else they will punish you, as we have just seen once again. Goodness Alam, says Johnson there. Yeah, he hasn't started this match the best, unfortunately, for Justin Alam here. Now, it will be Makinson once again lining up a kick from relatively close to the sidelines. Go Papua New Guinea, says Bianca. And also we have got there Papua New Guinea need Mbappe, says Peter Mason. And there, but Makinson now going to be lining up it. He's had a pretty good kicking success rate throughout the competition, and why not live telecast, says Jeff. Pretty much it is down to copyright. Sadly, if we show match footage or audio, because it's copyrighted material, YouTube take us straight off YouTube and ban us from doing commentary on YouTube for 3 months. But I can recommend Spark Sport if you're in New Zealand. I believe it's on KO if you're in Australia, but also on the Rugby League World Cup website, you can see whereabouts you can watch it depending on where you are in the world. The 6 tries is not much. Papua New Guinea will win the game. There's Pippi there and what time the ABs play. They are going to be playing at 4:15 a.m. kickoff. And that kick's going to be missing out to the side for Makinson. Didn't quite get that the way he wanted, with a little bit of a left-hand side. But yeah, pretty much the All Blacks game, we are going to have my parents actually covering the first half of that contest with the commentary. Please remove the copyright, says Emmy. Unfortunately, it's not up to me. It is pretty much the Rugby League World Cup Association. They have the copyright of all material. Also, the broadcasters, whether that's Spark Sport, KO, pretty much they can also take it down. So that is why we're unable to show the match footage. So I do apologize for that. The highlights will be on YouTube straight after the game on the Rugby League World Cup website. Tom Burgess hits it up for England. Again, they are just making meters a little bit too easy for the Kummels' liking here. Going off to the left-hand side once again, attacking hard. Joining up with the line quite nicely. It was Victor Radley now going off to the right. Another attack and run from Hill. Moves into the half of the Kummels to go. Papua New Guinea, says Jonathan. And Messi and Neymar. There's Peter Mason there as well, now going off to the right-hand side. England's backline's been looking very sharp throughout the first 10 minutes of this contest. Good tackle made by Lachlan Lamb and Olam. They've been told to release him. They almost gave away the 6 again call, which could have been absolutely lethal for the English. They've gone for the kick behind. It's nicely taken there by Roderick Tai. Wasn't able to quite break through. England looking to drive him into touch. They do just that. Brilliant work from the English. Once again, they seem like they've really come to play in this quarterfinal kickoff time, says Dixon Tom. 10 minutes ago, it is currently 11 minutes into this contest, and Papua New Guinea find themselves sitting 10-0 down after the early stages. I'm afraid Papua New Guinea will lose the match, says BK, and also Papua New Guinea will win, says Kelly, and go the PNG Kummels, says David there as well. Yeah, currently in the betting odds, I know at the start of the match was $10 underdogs for Papua New Guinea. I would think with the quick start that we have seen from the English here, maybe find themselves at about $21 underdogs at the stage this game started already, says Mandy York. It has indeed. 11 minutes ago. And now England once again going to find themselves 20 metres out from the Papua New Guinea line. Tom Burgess hits it hard at the line. Now Mickelrim looks off to the left-hand side. The nice draw and pass. Flat ball there. Off into the hands of Elliot Whitehead. And go the Kummels from Tamboyano. Now another offload. Getting closer. Farnworth getting wrestled down 5 metres short of the line. Papua New Guinea, they're going to have to make sure their defence is on fire here if they want any chance of stopping the English, because every time they throw the big men at the line, seems like they are making those few extra metres. That time Chris Hill taken down. Did lose a couple metres in the process of that tackle. Third tackle now for England. Williams goes across, using their back line nicely. The draw and pass once again. A great tackle made on Callum Watkins. They've done well to shut him down, and same with Dominic Young throughout the early stages of this matchup. And now, once again in the midfield, Bateman going to be taken down. And also we have got there go the Kummels and there as well. Now, fifth and final, 13 minutes into the contest, and England will be looking to try and attack with one more aggressive phase. Little grubber in behind. It looks like this time Papua New Guinea, they've got it covered. They tap it back into touch, and that will now be a goal line dropout for Papua New Guinea. And also we have got their wait, isn't the All Blacks meant to be playing now, says T7. Not quite. They do kick off in about 20 minutes time, but we have got the commentary covered for that live stream as well. It is going to be my parents doing the first half of that match between Wales and the All Blacks. Then we will be joining in for the second. So we've got both of them covered for the upcoming games. And also we have got there what time New Zealand playing, and also the South Africa game. So South Africa game is at 6:30 a.m. New Zealand time. New Zealand game is 4:15 a.m. And also we have got there Tompkins and Williams must be shut down. Thanks, bro, says Jimmy Hendricks. And there as well. Yeah, they certainly need to make sure that they don't allow the playmakers to, I guess, make plays. Is the easiest way of describing it throughout the early stages of the match. England once again going to be attacking. It looks like maybe Victor Radley took a bump on the nose. But for now, another attack and run off to the short side. Williams looks to pass it on the outside. Doesn't quite work out. And Farnworth has to regather. Lost about 5 or 10 metres there on the process there, England. Whitehead goes across to the right. Tompkin now gives it off to Hill. It's hard at the line up to the fourth tackle. How many minutes are in a half? So there are 40 minutes in each of the two halves here. Now England looking off to the short side. Nice step on the inside from Farnworth. Wasn't able to find the offload here. But England once again only a few metres out from the line. Fifth and final. The chip in behind. Papua New Guinea go up for a tap back by England. And now ball on the outside. One more. Dominic Young scores. And England get their third of the match now. After 15 minutes, every time they've been on attack at the moment, it seems like they have been able to score themselves the try. And soft start the Kummels, we can do this. Tears got Winnie there, and also we have got their PNG from Joseph there. But yeah, really not the start. Papua New Guinea were after 9 tries so far in the Rugby League World Cup for Dominic Young. I believe he's going to be able to get to double figures before the end of this contest as well, with the way that the English are going. It's tapped back beautifully. And then they just found the draw and pass. Callum Watkins, he saw the man on the outside in Young, and he did managed to go to him, but just an alarm went up for it. Same can be said about Lachlan Lamb, but Papua New Guinea just didn't seem to get that tap back that they were after. Dominic Young, though, receives a dream pass to get himself on the scoreboard early on. So, yeah, Papua New Guinea now to win this game are sitting as $31 underdogs for this matchup. And also come on the Kummels. Says Nate there and go the Kummels. And there as well from Joshua. It's going to be another kicking opportunity this time. It will be Makinson will be going for this kick. He's already 2 from 2 tonight. I don't think he would have been expecting to have 3 kicks already at this point of the match, but the English coach, he'll be more than happy with the way that the start of this match has gone. Please, come on, fans, go and catch up on some sleep, says Peter Mason. Although the thing is, the game is not over yet. Yes, it doesn't look too flash for the Kummels at this stage of the match, but all it takes is a couple tries in a row and a bit of possession. That's the thing. Papua New Guinea have not had the ball inside of England's half yet. And I feel like that will be a massive deciding factor in this half for whether or not Papua New Guinea can get themselves any momentum. They need to touch that ball. They need to run it at the line. They need to try and put the English under a bit of pressure. But Makinson just ends up missing out to the left-hand side. So that is something that's going to benefit Papua New Guinea a little bit with the kick missing away to the side. Like they're saying, the Kummels just haven't had the ball throughout the first 16 minutes of this game. I believe they got the one kickoff, and then other than that, they just haven't really been able to have it. And WTF, 14 hours too much. England will win. Sorry, Papua New Guinea, says Big Key. And there, yeah, they just need the ball, I think, is the big start. They need to try and find a way of neutralizing this English attack. Papua New Guinea win. Come along, Papua New Guinea, says Nehemiah there. Going to be kicked off once again. Tom Burgess crashes at the line and he decides to target straight. And I believe that would have been Roderick Tai. England so far, total meters gained 354 compared to the 49 of Papua New Guinea. That tells you everything you need to know about how the first 17 minutes of this game has gone. It has been all England. Papua New Guinea, they've made a couple little mistakes as well that have caused them to let England have a bit more possession. Third tackle now. England still inside of their own half, and now they're starting to attack. Nice inside ball from Callum Watkins. Wrestled down there will be Sam Tompkins there, almost called as a set restart. Now Williams goes off to big Tom Burgess once again, tries to carve his way through the gap and get out of the defence to attack football. Kummels, there is more time. Put your head up, go Kummels. Says Exon there as well. Now England going for the chip in behind. Once again, it's drifting high, taken by England. Dropping over the line, he spins and scores. It's another one against Papua New Guinea. And England have got themselves another try on the 5th tackle. Rocky D, says Joseph, and also Papua New Guinea. They will win, they are playing their heart, says Rocky D. And also over there, Kummel. It's not over yet. Kummel will fly over. And also, you rate Papua New Guinea, says Joseph, and go Papua New Guinea. Kummel's with you, says Bianca. And distance gained by England in one set is ridiculous. Coach, do something about this, says GUINEA. Yeah, every time it's about 60 meters gained. And Papua New Guinea just have to watch them for that final kick every time it goes to the sky. Papua New Guinea just don't seem to be able to get onto it. In the air, Roderick Tai not winning that battle. Makinson gets over. Nerves taking over the Kummels, says the Rocky L. William, and also basically says B Key there as well. But yeah, Makinson, he had the height and the leap advantage. Papua New Guinea by 4 points, says Lucas. And the chat as well. Makinson, he's done well. There was almost a sign of a little bit of a knock-on from Roderick Tai, maybe, or Makinson there. While it was going down, then Alex Johnson, he tried to stop him, but the roll was too successful. Bring on the Samoans. We're waiting for you, says Peter there. And also we have got, while all these silly mistakes keep popping up, Papua New Guinea don't fear their giants. Get them down and struck back ASAP, says Matthew. And yeah, I think earlier on it was mentioned about the nerves, and I feel like it's got to be the nerves for Papua New Guinea, because don't get me wrong, England are playing a tremendous game of rugby league at the moment. They have hardly made a mistake out there on the park, but this isn't the same Papua New Guinea that we normally see, who would dig deep, who would fight through the adversity and then would fire back. They just seem like they don't know how to stop England from getting the ball and running at 60 or 70 meters and then scoring again. And also Papua New Guinea build pressure in England's half, stay down there. 17 minutes and 4 tries. Goodness. And also Hammy Fiji definitely is a very strong, well-deserved team in the quarters next year, says Golden Guest. And also hurry and catch up. This is unacceptable for Papua New Guinea. And also we've got the England going to win, says Mark. And there as well. But now 20 points to nil in favour of the English. Dominic Young hits it hard at the line once again. If Papua New Guinea can finish this defensive set while still having them inside of their own half here, England, that will give them a bit more confidence. But until then, they just need to make sure they're making those tackles. AB's 15 has some serious talents. It doesn't matter a time or of time before it's only a matter of time before Sean Stevenson makes the AB squad, says junior rider, or goes overseas. I think he's actually signed for another team, or he's thinking about going to the NRL as well as another one. Now England breaking the line once again. That was close to a full pass, but it is going to be play on just for now. Callum Watkins, ball off across to Tompkins, who slides in, or in fact, it's not going to be Tompkins. Instead, it's George Williams. It's another try for England. Now, the thing is, was that a forward pass on the halfway line that created that opportunity? And 20-0, oh my, and it may now be 24-0 for this one. And enjoying watching commentaries from Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Cheers, says David there. And what? And there says Bianca. George Williams' third try in the Rugby League World Cup. Right, they're going to have a look at this one, though, and make sure that there wasn't a forward pass on the halfway line, although I don't actually think they're going back to have a look at it. Now, Papua New Guinea to win this game already is paying $101. Please, says Arnold there. So on the halfway line, I believe it was that pass initially that I thought may have been forward. We've seen it from a different angle there, and they're not going to show the one that might show whether it was forward or not. But just sliding over the line there for England and do some changes now. This is embarrassing, says Kimmer there. And England scoring another try. It was great work from George Williams with the support run in England to win, says Wes and brother, literally on a soccer field, says Luciano there. And the kick will be successful as well for England. Like they're saying, it's not the lack of heart that we're seeing from the PNG boys. It's just the fact that England just keep on going in and in again and in again. And do you think the Wallabies will beat the French later? I don't think so. I think the Wallabies are probably still missing a few too many of their key players. And alongside that, this French side is still looking extremely strong. And also we have got there, please describe the appearances of the Kummel, says Arnold. At the moment, they just seem like they haven't quite turned up to this game. It's as if the occasion has got to them for the first 20 minutes of this matchup. And then from there, they've just kind of, I guess, succumbed to the pressure. And how do they look, says Arnold? They just seem a bit flat at the moment. I would say overall, just those little mistakes in the one-on-one tackles. Every time England get the ball, they're making a good 5 to 10 metres extra in just post-contact. Just something to look at. And England might have a rematch with Samoa in the semi. That is certainly a possibility. And defence Gommels, says Bianca. Yeah, they need to try and break this chain. And we've already seen now the change being made. It is Wellington Albert off the field. I believe that is Dan Russell that they have decided to bring out there now for the Kummels. Labert makes the tackle. It's looking very slippery out there, so maybe that is something else that they weren't really expecting to have to play. A nice ball on the inside. Now Farnworth tries to break through. Finds the offload up for the English once again, and they just continue to make those meters. Hill is dragged down by Papua New Guinea. They're only up to their fourth tackle now, and they have got numbers on the outside. Looking for the wide cutout pass over the top to Dom Young. Big fend on Jimmy Nutlick. Inside ball. It's another one for England. 23 minutes through, and they are now scoring themselves their fifth try of this quarterfinal. WTF Gummel, says Stanley, and also update. England is about to score, says Luciano. I can't believe the score. England are mowing them down. England mean business. What's going on, please? This is embarrassing. Lamb should be the coach. Don't come home. There's a Lillian there, and also we've got the unacceptable bro, says Luciano, and also Papua New Guinea, please need to score, says Jonathan. But now Dominic Young put the ball on the inside. And they've got another. This time, Callum Watkins is the try scorer for the English. It just seems like no matter what Papua New Guinea try and do, England find themselves scoring every single set. And go the Kummels, you can do it, says Othello, and also the whole state up awake to see the Kummels play. This is not the Kummels I want to see. Shuffle, please, says Gemma there. Yeah, the ball on the outside, over the top, went to Dom Young, who put the big fend on Jimmy Nutlick. Ball on the inside, and Watkins was able to score it. And also we got there, the Kummels better come back next half. And also we have got there, the weather conditions are the main factors in favour of the home side, says Rocky L. William. I mentioned it last week as well. If there was rain on the cards for this matchup, we were going to see an advantage in favour of Papua New Guinea. Okay. Currently 24 minutes through in the contest. And England sitting at 30-0 up. England dancing around the paddock, and the Commonwealth watching instead of shutting them down, says GUINEA there. And also we have got their Papua New Guinea. We're never going to win anyway. England will get at least 60. And a big fend on Jimmy Nitlick. It was indeed from Dom Young. He's a dangerous winger. And now this kick is successful from Makinson as well. This is 25 minutes through this game. And England are 32 points to 0 up. Surely we do not see a record winning margin for the English in this game. If that was the case, it would be absolutely monumental for their World Cup campaign. Please come with what is happening. And I also have some faith in them, says Luciano. And can Papua New Guinea score? I believe so. They just need the ball. They have kicked off to England about 4 or 5 times in a row and haven't received that ball once. They need to force a mistake, put in some big hits and try and break down this English side. But we haven't really seen any signs that they have been able to do that. They've only been defending. Now the ball goes off once again. They will be hitting it up with their forwards. Currently 25 and a half minutes through in this contest, and it was the number 17, Mike Cooper, which is one of the first interchanges for the English side. Now going off to the right-hand side here, Bateman tries to spin out of the tackle, but Alam is able to make it. And so what are some of the things you think the Commonwealth need to fix immediately? And what can the Commonwealth fix? I think it's the post-contact meters that England are gaining every time that they hit the breakdown or kind of hit the tackle. They manage to get the extra 5 or 10 meters. It's really starting to amount to a lot of extra contact. See that one there, perfect example. They made the tackle, he bounced off it and then made an extra 5 meters. They'll probably do the same thing in this phase as well. And then all of a sudden that's 10 extra meters that they find themselves having. Radley with a nice carry. 5th and final now for the English, going off to the short side. Kicked him iron from Sam Tompkins. It's a ball up high. Nicely taken. No, it wasn't by Alex Johnson. Hang on. The referee has given it as a catch for Alex Johnson, even though he hadn't actually caught the ball. This is going to be a captain's challenge here from England, and it has to be because that ball was not taken cleanly by Alex Johnson. Then from there, it could have been play on and maybe another try for the English. You make a good rapper, says Bianca in there. I do talk very fast, that is for sure. Okay, video ref Adam G going to be having a look at this one to see whether or not there is a chance of a captain's challenge successful one for the English here. But yeah, Alex Johnson, he did not catch that ball, and don't give up Papua New Guinea, says Derek. And also we have got the all as Papua New Guinea is behind you, says Luciano, and also get the ball and complete our sets. Papua New Guinea control the game. Yeah, I believe they've only had one set that they have completed so far throughout this match in the first 27 minutes. But Johnson doesn't take it cleanly. And then I think Makinson puts the ball down. So the potential catch and then the potential grounding. This may end up being another try. And once again, that's just a little mistake from Papua New Guinea. Not able to take the ball cleanly when they're inside of their own area. Gareth Anscombe replacing Lee Halfpenny. Oh, a late change for the Welsh. So that ball was put down by Alex Johnson. Then from there it is play on. Makinson puts both hands on the ball. That is going to be a try for the English once again. And go the Cummels, says Luciano, and you can do it. Cummels says BC there before halftime score now. Cummels, come on, says Morn. And can we get ref some spectacle, says Roof. Yeah, he got a little bit excited, didn't he? He blew the whistle before the ball was actually caught, but that is another try for Papua New Guinea now. They sit 36-0 up. This is incredible from the English. And I don't even know if it's so much what Papua New Guinea are doing wrong or if it's so much of what England just continue to do right. Game over. Good luck to England in the semis. And please don't give up. Please don't let our country down, says Mitalini there. And Kummel, what a score, says Stephen. And also what's going wrong with the Kummels. It just seems like they can't get possession at the moment. No All Black game tonight. We have actually got the live stream starting up on the channel in 2 minutes' time. It will be my parents doing the first half of that contest, Isaac, and then we will be popping in for the second. And what's happening? They were just checking the TMO was given as the try in the end. Alex Johnson unable to take the clean catch. Then Makinson follows along, puts the ball down, and they knew no jumpers. Don't ask about Union here, says Jimmy Hendricks. And also England too strong. All the best in the second half, says Amos there. And chill, I'm already on the bed by Papua New Guinea, says BK. And the Cornwalls, says Stephen as well. And it looks like Makinson's able to slot that one over also. Now sitting 36-0 at the moment. But with that kick going over, it is going to be 38-0 in favour of the English. This is a full-time score at the moment, and we've only been going for 28 minutes of this matchup. This is unbelievable. And I don't know how Papua New Guinea can fix this. Because I feel like at this stage, it's not so much how to win. It's more of how to not lose by a massive margin. Unless, of course, they can somehow do this exact same thing up against the English in the second half. Now, it's not impossible. It's improbable, but not impossible. And also, what a if, says Morn there. And also, English taking no prisoners today. Papua New Guinea shell-shocked. No answers. Yeah, and bro, are you anywhere near the stadium, says Rocky. I am not. I am actually in New Zealand at the moment. That's kicked out on the full from Papua New Guinea. The last thing that they needed there. There are only 3 teams able to run each other close. England, Australia, and the All Blacks. Unfortunately, Rugby Union, Scotland 28, Fiji 12, Italy 49, Samoa 17. And England, says Duckies. And there in G's and the chat from Ice. And also, I'm going to sleep now, says Black or White. And you can do this, Papua New Guinea. It's over for the Commonwealth, says Gabby Mark. And there, yeah, 38 points to nil already after almost 30 minutes. Just seems like a little bit too much to be able to make up. And come on, Arsenal, says it was Uni there. Now, kick downfield from England. They're going to find themselves only about 15 metres out from the line. Now fired back across. Good attack and run. Matty Lees with the carry there. 29 minutes into this contest at the moment for the English. They're going to be on attack once again, going off to the left-hand side. Now Tompkins tries to pierce his way through this defence of Papua New Guinea, which has been done relatively often throughout the first 30 minutes of this game. It's game over if they score, says Luciano, is 100 on. Says Richard, I don't know about 100, but they're certainly getting towards that at the moment for the English. They will be not too far off getting themselves possibly another try here if they get it right in the draw and pass. Now England thought about a little kick in behind. It was almost a bit of a weird kick. He kind of hit it into his own chest and then managed to kick it. Tompkins now passes back across on the left-hand side once again. It is going to be Bateman driven backwards by Papua New Guinea. This is better defensively. They are now starting to keep the English driving backwards. Now the kick in behind is going to be going up. Nicely tapped back by Dominic Young, although it's called as a knock-on. Now Papua New Guinea, for the first time in the last, this is not even an exaggeration, for the first time in the last 25 minutes, Papua New Guinea have the ball. Not even joking. They have had 49 metres carried throughout this first half of rugby compared to about the 400 we have seen from the English. In fact, they've made 694 for England. They have not touched the ball in a very long time. Why the Kummel says Damien. And also Kummels, you guys come a long way. And also we've got there, they nearly did, says Luciano. And also we got there, Papua New Guinea did not or do expect the unexpected. Cheers. You can change the tie. Come on, says Nick. And there as well. But now Papua New Guinea, their first attacking set for a very long time here. Driving forward, it is going to be Isaac Yeh. Has got this ball available currently 31 minutes through the contest. Papua New Guinea with the captain, Reece Martin. He'll be gutted about how this match has started. And Kummels, you guys have come a long way, says Ice. And also PNG need jumpers or okay, thanks. Defence okay, says Jimmy Hendricks. So yeah, the defence overall, the post-contact meters are really taking the wind out of the sails of the Kummels here. Although this backline movement's very nice. Currently on the 4th, Justin Alarm tries to break through, just throws the ball away, though. It's going to be a forward pass. Alex Johnson, it seems like they're going to say play on just for now, says the referee. Now he decides to go back for it. And we know you can do this. And also we have got there the Tonga and Samoa flags from Soifua. Of course, that is the game that is taking place tomorrow night. That is going to be absolutely awesome to see those two sides go head-to-head. And hopefully it does all go very well. And expect the unexpected, guys. The boys will make it, says Waria. And also many of the English NRL players are comparatively low rated together with Super League players. I don't know what has happened to the Commons, some of whom are the best. And you could replace Andrew Voss or Ray Warren, says Hermit. Do appreciate the kind words very much. The Wales game coming up in a few minutes away. And they are indeed, though, Hamish, says Patrick. So what I will quickly do while we are at it, so we'll go like this. And I will go like this. So for anyone who is interested in the rugby union game that is taking place at the moment, the All Blacks versus Wales, that is going to be kicking off in not too much time. We have also got another live stream going on the channel. That is the one with my parents. And that is the link for anyone who is interested in that rugby union side of commentary as well. You could even have both open if you like to keep an eye on what is happening in both of the matches. And Papua New Guinea has their chance. Now use it wisely. And there as well, it says it was Luciano. But now Papua New Guinea with the scrum feed. 33 minutes into the contest. Now going off to the short side. Nice bit of draw and pass here. Alex Johnson, ball on the inside to Roderick Tai. This is the best attacking opportunity we have seen from Papua New Guinea throughout this match at this point in time. Now going off to the left-hand side, it will be Reece Martin. They're only up to the second tackle, sitting 30 metres out from the line now for Papua New Guinea. And what a forward pass says, it was more, yeah, it was forward by about 15 metres for Justin Alarm's pass there. But now they are still attacking. 3 tackles in, sitting 20 metres out from the English line. Labour now with the ball in mind. I'm looking for Jimmy Nutlick here. But first of all, it's going to be Nixon Put. Gets relatively close to the line. Justin Alarm will be playing half up to the 4th tackle now. 33 and a half minutes through in this contest. And now it will be once again offloaded to Pape. Gives it to Reece Martin. Little grabber in behind. It's going to be sitting up. Here comes Nutlick. No, he's going to have to just keep it in the field of play. And Dan Russell jumps on the ball. You can score. This is our chance, says Luciano there. And whoever goes through to face England is bound for a thrashing. The grubber in behind. Tap back by England. And now it is going to be a goal line dropout in favour of the English. So they're going to be kicking it back down, and Papua New Guinea going to get themselves just a little bit more possession now. That is something that could be hugely useful as they make their way forward all the way from Kokopo. Oh, you're not sleeping. Please, the Commonwealth win this game, says Fesi in there. And I have to say, it is definitely admirable. All of you guys who are stuck by your side, no matter what, thick and thin in this contest. Yes, they are struggling at the moment, but now that they're starting to get a little bit more position, there's a little bit of promise coming from Papua New Guinea. Yes, the scoreboard really does not favour them at the moment. And this match, huge contact. That looked high. I think I felt that one around my neck. Now, 35 minutes through, Papua New Guinea sitting 30 metres out. Another huge bit of contact there. PNG really working hard to try and make those extra metres to actually come on. And also reality check for the Commonwealth, says Stanley Lowe. In that one as well. Now still driving forward. 3rd tackle made here. 35 minutes through. Papua New Guinea, can they get their first try of the day? Reece Martin tries to spin out of the tackle. Tackled by George Williams, though. Back across a Pape. It looked like it was deliberately knocked down. And that's going to be a penalty in favour of Papua New Guinea, only a few metres out from the English line. And it still looks like Papua New Guinea have something left in the tank for their first half, and Papua New Guinea are not even scoring too much boasting, says Funpai there, and also all the way from Port Moresby, says Luciano there, and come on, says Fernando, and Papua New Guinea, come on, give them a contest, and come on, Papua New Guinea, says Eric there as well. So another penalty goes the way of Papua New Guinea, sitting 5 metres out from the English line now. We'll look to attack again. Mackenzie Yeh had that ball up, Pape, it's another drop ball, although it's a knock-on from England now. The first one, a knock-on from Papua New Guinea. I believe it is going to be a scrum feed for this matchup. It is absolutely pouring as well, so the conditions are not easy at all to be able to play in. And almost half-time, says Jeremy Hendricks. It is indeed. We are currently sitting at 36 minutes through. It will be the scrum feed now in favour of England again. And also the England side gives me All Blacks vibes when they nailed every team and remained unbeaten for years. And love your commentary from Papua New Guinea, says Fabian. And we will be continuing the commentary trend later on tonight. We have got the matchup taking place between New Zealand and Fiji. That is in the Rugby League. We will be covering that one on the channel. And also alongside that, we have got Ireland versus South Africa is another matchup alongside New Zealand and Wales also. And you can do it. Papua New Guinea says morning, also 1 point per minute rate. And also break that chain, boys, and welcome to Real Rugby League Game, Cummels, says Moses. And there in England at the moment, they are certainly playing well throughout the early stages of this matchup. Now going to be another little bit of a forced offload from England. The mistake made, and Papua New Guinea able to jump on the ball. Now Labour does have that one, rolls it back to a Pape, goes off to the left-hand side. Good rush defence there from the English to the halfway line. Papua New Guinea still with 3 minutes on the clock, still plenty of time to be able to score at least one try in this first up, but they're going to have to move quickly if they do want that chance. Good night, Papua New Guinea. I'm going to bed. I need miracle scores too for a close game. I have tears rolling down already, says Matthew in there. And yeah, it's such a big shame with how hard Papua New Guinea have worked to get through to this final, or this quarterfinal, I should say, now to be losing by such a margin. Dan Russell hits it straight at Makinson, who's been able to drag him down nicely. Also having a very good day off the kicking tee for Makinson. Now Roderick Ty plays half, gives it off to Labour. Drawn pass, working quite well for Papua New Guinea here. They've actually got numbers on the outside. Alex Johnson gives it off to Justin Alam. Tries to break his way through, and that is going to be the handover. I don't know whether or not he realised it was fifth and final. Yeah, he didn't even realise. Justin Alam there. And also, we are so very quiet at Port Moresby. Please, Cummels, make us shout and cheer up. And also pass the ball, says Luciano. And also come on, Cummels. And they're from Jason as well. But now England, they are back in position. They haven't been able to score themselves a try since about the 28th minute of this game, though, which is definitely a confidence builder for Papua New Guinea. You just wish that it had happened a little bit earlier before it had got too deep into this contest. Now, once again, trying to step through. Good shot put on by was the number 16 there, Makinson. He's one of the replacements that they did use. Size matters in league. Need big bodies next time around. There's GUINEA, I think that is. And the thing that is a bit disappointing is the fact that they did end up losing, I believe, who was the player they took out? I'm going to have to go down. Emmanuel Wayne. He's a player who definitely could have used some of that stature to his advantage. But yeah, just didn't quite get it right. It doesn't matter, says Ice. Come on, boys. And there as well. But now Papua New Guinea, they've got 0 tackles in this set so far, and they will drive forward quite nicely. Nixon does move it up into the half of England. 1 minute left on the clock in Papua New Guinea. They will not want to leave this half without a single point on the board. Big run from Dan Russell, fighting for every extra metre that he can. Now Pape goes off to the right-hand side. Nice bit of drawing pass. They kick him behind from Kyle Labor. Decided to kick on 2 rather than the 5th. And because of it, now England have got this ball back. Makinson does slip over in the wet conditions, but manages to spring straight back to his feet. Now he's gone down. And I think he just sacrificed the tackle there. And as is a fixed game, says Tinupale, I doubt it. I don't think that's the thing. Papua New Guinea are not a side that would allow any type of fixing to be happening in their matches. They play with too much passion for that to be a possibility. Now, big shot once again there. Currently sitting on the halfway line, 40 minutes in almost into this contest, and now it's going to be kicked downfield nicely by, it was Sam Tompkins, given the last tackle of the half, I should say, to Papua New Guinea. Alex Johnson wrestled down, and that will be halftime in this one. Break the egg, says Wilbert, and also hopefully England doesn't make it. It's going to be a boring final, says Luciano, and thank you, Papua New Guinea. Let's try and put at least 1 try before the first half is up, says Eric there. And also we'll get there, break the egg, says Wilbert. And come on, the Cummels, at least score some points. 0 is too embarrassing, says Becky. And also Passion also needs wisdom in techniques, says Gabby. And there as well. Currently, anyone who was a fan of the rugby union side of things as well, we have got another live stream going on the channel. It is New Zealand versus Wales. And my parents are actually co-hosting that one. I will be joining them for the second half. That is the link for anyone who does want to check out that All Blacks versus Wales commentary. At the moment, I do see that New Zealand have got themselves a nice 3-0 lead in the matchup up against the Welsh. But Papua New Guinea, that is a half that they certainly will want to forget. It has not gone anywhere near what they would have planned in their heads. But now it's all about trying to change it in the second half. Sorry, mate, I have a feeling that neither have a strong guy feeling neither Samoa or Tonga will beat the Poms to reach the final. It's going to be England in there, says Loki, and not giving up. Go the Cummels, says Henry there. And also we'll get there as Simbakin playing. He was going to be coming off the bench for Papua New Guinea, but I don't believe they've actually made that change yet. And also we get there, no, bro, you're definitely blind, says Luciano, and also not giving up on the Cummels, says Henry. And come on, the Cummels, you have greater changes to score. Why not doing so? At least a try to avoid 0, says Edward. And that would be a good way of looking at it. Just try and get out of that 0 for a start, and then from there continue to build and see how it does end up going. And Tonga is literally a powerhouse, says Luciano, and hope is still alive, boys. Don't forget the first half. Do some serious talking, coach. How much time do we have left before the halftime? So it is actually halftime now in this contest. We have about a 5 to 10 minute break, and then we will be back for the second half, where hopefully we see a bit more of a comeback from Papua New Guinea. They at least got themselves some position near the end of that first half, which is something that they will certainly be happy with, because at the end of the day, at one point in this contest, Papua New Guinea had 49 metres carried. England had 680. The difference between the sides was pretty much just huge, is the best way of describing it. And change the coach, says Larson, and Tonga will be too slow for England's back, says Loki, and also Papua New Guinea stopped them. What is wrong with you, says Eric Benjamin, and also Watson Boss didn't play either, says Gabby Mark. So yeah, he is still waiting for his opportunity to come off the bench as an interchange player. Papua New Guinea people don't disappoint, says Morn. And there's why they are just showing what games are going to be taking place on Spark Sport in the near future, and one of which is going to be the game between New Zealand and Fiji. That will actually decide who is able to get themselves the victory, and it will mean that they will move on to face off against the Australians. Now, the winner of this game, which currently looks like it will be England, they will face the winner of Samoa versus Tonga, which is the other group match that will be taking place in the next matchup. Or sorry, 2 matches time on the Monday night. And also we were there, where do we go after this game, says Kema. For Papua New Guinea, the thing is to go from such a strong group stage to now being in that situation of not really knowing what is next for the Papua New Guinea side, because I know already we've seen people saying change the coach, change the players. It's going to be a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a bit of a research period for Papua New Guinea, working out what works, because their group stage was pretty good. They only lost to Tonga by 6 points. Every other game of that group stage, though, they were victorious. So they had a decent, relatively successful group. And it was just that loss to Tonga that I guess did hurt them a little bit there. But other than that, they have been still on par with, I guess, what they would have expected from this Rugby League World Cup. It is just a shame if this is the fashion that they do get knocked out in, as they have been working extremely hard throughout the last little while to be able to get it done. And please, any good minute. Last minute ball work, says Maya. We did see a little bit of good work from Papua New Guinea at the end of that first half, and they at least had possession, which was certainly something that helped them to keep the scoreline and play your game, says Juk there. And also the game is already won by England. The boys just need to polish up their defence in the second half and score a few points, says Stanford. And also, come on, Papua New Guinea, you can do better than that. And boys, you can do it, says Samuel. And Kummel's careful what you line up and angles. And I think the post-contact meters were also something. I did mention it before, but the post-contact meters were certainly helping them big time. And I think, I'm not too sure whether or not they've put the stat up yet for those post-contact meters, but I would say England have probably made around 200 or 300 extra meters from post-contact than what we saw from the Papua New Guineans. So that is certainly something that does change things. And also what break without a try from Papua New Guinea side. Come on, Papua New Guinea, go for the second up and avoid the 0. Is this the last game for Papua New Guinea if England win this game? Sadly, it is. So this could be the last time that we do see Papua New Guinea as a part of the Rugby League World Cup. Water. We've got to make sure we're drinking plenty of it. We have got plenty more live streams today, ladies and gentlemen. First of which, we are going to be doing the second half of All Blacks versus Wales. The live stream is actually currently going on the channel. It is my parents doing the first half, and then I am popping in for the second half of the fixture. Miracle will happen in the second half, says John. And England are playing in third gear, says Uni. And also Papua New Guinea switch to soccer, says Gabby Mark. I mean, one bad game, though, doesn't warrant having to switch to a whole different sport, I would say. Like, at the end of the day, Papua New Guinea, to get to the quarterfinals in their own right, was actually a pretty big accomplishment. And then to go into it, have to play the home side, England, who were always looking like the favourites to be able to make it to the final. It's never going to be easy. But Papua New Guinea here, I hope that we get to see a bit of fight from them in the second half. At least you guys raise the flag of Papua New Guinea. You're making us proud, says Maya there. Exactly right. It seems like the whole of Papua New Guinea, even though this result isn't going the way of their boys, they are still getting behind them and they're hoping to see something happen for them. And I'll expect you to make the first try in the second half, says Mornier. It was a bit disappointing in the first half, Justin Alam. He just doesn't seem to quite be able to do anything right out there on the field at the moment, which sounds extremely harsh, but it does seem to be the case for him in these matchups. And also, boys, I'm still proud of you no matter what, says Samuel. And also, nothing we can do. Keep playing whatever points you can get to avoid the 0. And a better second half coming up. Go the Kummel, says Wilmer. So the question now that we will end up asking the chat is, how many points do you guys expect Papua New Guinea to be able to get in the second half? Remembering they got 0 in the first, how many points do you think they will get? And so much investment for years in rugby and still trailing, says Gabby Mark. But I guess it's one of those ones that, like, as they continue to develop their pool, like in the last game after winning it for Papua New Guinea, the coaches were saying, we feel this is actually the best group of players we have had in a very long time. And they're still getting stronger. And let's just hope for the best, says Anonymous. And also, please break the egg, says Philip. See, that's the thing. If Papua New Guinea found themselves up against Lebanon in a quarterfinal, if they found themselves up against Fiji in the quarterfinal, and in some regards, Tonga, I feel like Papua New Guinea would have a decent enough chance of being able to go on. It's just the fact that they're facing England in this contest that is making it absolutely, like, impossible almost to be able to go on from this point of the match and get themselves the monumental victory. We have got second half, maybe a comeback by Papua New Guinea, says Roof there. And also we got the Papua New Guinea flag from Anonymous. So I should mention we are going to be covering the next game of the Rugby League World Cup at 8:30 a.m. New Zealand time, which has taken place in 4 hours' time. That will be Fiji versus New Zealand. Before that, though, we've got South Africa versus Ireland and also the second half of New Zealand versus Wales. Anyone who does want to hear that New Zealand versus Wales commentary, it is currently going on the channel. Be sure to use that link and we'll take you over to the live stream, which my parents are actually co-hosting. They got up nice and early in the morning here in New Zealand to be able to cover the start of the match. So, yeah, if you are new to the channel, also be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more live streams coming up in the near future. This game hasn't ended yet. They still make it up. Their watch out English says PNG Daily in the second half. Maybe a comeback by Papua New Guinea, says Roof. Tell you what, if Papua New Guinea went on to win this game 38 points to 40, that would be one of the greatest comebacks we have probably ever seen in a game of rugby league. And also we have got there, please, my mouth, shut up. Yeah, please break the egg, says Banua there. And also we have got the England's first half. Can we have the second with some scores, please, says Kimmer. And also at least remove that 0, says Morn. And also come on the Kummels. If you can hold off from scoring and score some tries second half, that'll be something, says Melanie. And Apape switch to Thurston mode and save the day, please. And Tonga versus Papua New Guinea for a one-off test next year would be fire. I hope it takes place because last time we saw it in action, it's absolutely awesome to see. And Junior Righto said it's 10-0 at the moment. It certainly is for the All Blacks that were able to score themselves a try. Currently sitting about 14 minutes into that contest between the ABs and the Welsh. Reduce the margin will be a priority now, says Matthew. Yeah, as long as they start to cut down a little bit of that deficit, I think the Kiwis would be, or sorry, not the Kiwis, the Kummels, I think would be relatively happy with the second half. As long as, you know what, it's a shame, but to say this for Papua New Guinea in the second half, score more points in this half than England do, I think would be a little moral victory for the Kummels, just to try and get a few more points on the board. Then we see from the English. But that's going to be tough to do, and Kummels can make a difference with your boys, says Mary. And also we have got win or lose. I'm still proud of the Papua New Guinea Kummels. They made it this far just to reach the quarterfinals. A major structured team that England has, those, says Killaby. Yeah, England are looking at the moment like the favourites to be able to go on and win the whole competition. That is for sure. And the final, I believe a lot of people are saying it's going to be actually England versus Australia as the final of the whole World Cup. One try for me, says Waria, for how many they are able to get. And also, where is Anna Mac? Says Waria. And there as well. But yeah, second half, Kummels going to have to make sure they start this one well. The thing is, they actually had the first possession in the first half. But after that, it just seemed to break down big time. England had about a 25-minute period where they didn't allow Papua New Guinea to touch the ball once. And I said the game against the Cookies and the Wales was untidy. The game proving that, or this game proving that, can't afford to do that against the top sides this first half is just the thing I was hinting on, says Mark. Yeah, we did mention about it at the end of the last game. Discipline and also that 6 again call was one that really was going to cost Papua New Guinea. And then we've already seen it actually in effect throughout this match. And plus put a sick try in the first half, says Ice, and too many mistakes, says Gabby. Exactly right. And go the Kummels still okay, says Simon. No chance for Papua New Guinea. The game is done. Papua New Guinea may score 1 try, but England may score 5 tries. They just did not turn up, says Uni. And can you help us see live this Rugby World Cup, says Alpine. If you are in New Zealand, you can watch it on Spark Sport. That is probably your best option. If you are elsewhere, though, it is a little bit harder to try and find where you are actually able to watch this game. Unfortunately, they do make it relatively tricky to be able to find the contest. One moment, we will go like this, and we will go like this as well. There we go. And also we go there, how did him, says Philip. And also usually I believe in miracles, but in this case I just don't see the Kummels making the comeback. The thing is, if they somehow did make the comeback though, that would be massive because they were paying $101 on the TAB here in New Zealand, which is pretty much the highest number a side can pay for a head-to-head match. So the fact that if they were somehow able to come back from that would be absolutely monumental one-way traffic. Hamish says, Darren Smith, it is indeed. And also we have got there, I was wondering what you were up to on watching the Wales stream, and I can hear you loud and clear in the background. Says Connor Kale, I do apologise about that. Hopefully I'm not too loud coming through on that one. And also break up, says Morton, and also go Papua New Guinea Kummels. And there, reduce the margin, Papua New Guinea and England. Please provide us a proper rugby field, says Sebastian, and go the PNG Kummels. says Jack there as well. So I should mention anyone who does enjoy themselves a little bit of rugby union, though. We have currently got an All Blacks versus Wales live stream going on the channel, and we will actually be jumping over to that one straight after this match ends. So I do recommend checking out that one, going over there, giving it a like for my mum and dad who are currently doing the live stream over there on the other. They're actually just over that wall, or on the other side of the wall, I should say. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup between the ABs and Wales as well. And also we got there, Go the Kummel, says David, and also yes, Papua New Guinea for the comeback, says Melanie's, and Go the Kummels, and no matter what, boys, we have got this far with you, boys, says Roger. And if New Zealand versus England, New Zealand will destroy them. I don't know about that at the moment. England are playing some brilliant rugby in this competition, and I think New Zealand would really find it challenging, and believe is what you need, says David, and it's not over till it's over. Positive vibes coming your way all the way from the land of the unexpected. Papua New Guinea, win or lose, you are still our pride, says Nancy. And Go the Kummels, yes, says Shirley. And now England just about to make their way out onto the field. It looks like now they are going to be able to possibly find some more momentum here in the second half. But Papua New Guinea, they want to break that down, break the egg, just that, says Herbert. And also Go the Kummels, break the egg, says Aslam in the chat as well. So Papua New Guinea, they will be kicking off this one now. Right. Second half. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be the first try scorer of this one? I wonder how England use a soccer field to play a Rugby World Cup game. Says Sebastian. It's kicked off by Labert. Kicks it relatively long, and it's going to be taken nicely by Welshby. Now driven backwards, almost picked up and dropped there for the English. And Papua New Guinea, they're going to have to bring the physicality for the second half. That is one thing that would have been mentioned in their changing shed, was make sure you're hitting them hard and you're stopping those post-contact meters. That was an offload from England, but they weren't supposed to, so it is going to be once again rolled back, and they go off to the short side. Nicely taken by the English there. Elliot Whitehead and come on, Papua New Guinea. Kummels at least score some tries in the second half, and Papua New Guinea all the way, says Nancy there as well. Nice run forward from England. They move themselves up to, I believe that's about their third tackle at the moment. They haven't actually got the tackle counter on the field at the moment. Is that 2 or is that 5? I think it must be 5th, because they have now kicked it down the field a bit further in Papua New Guinea. Nice take from Alex Johnson. He's been cleaned up while he's lying on the ground, but Papua New Guinea now have got themselves a little bit of position, and we're losing, so want to sleep. You're giving us links to watch another game, says Beaky. That is true. And there's actually even more games taking place after that one on the channel. I think it's hilarious. I assume that your dad watching. I thought you grew up very fast, says Connor Cahill. And there, yeah, my mum and dad doing the co-commentary for that All Blacks versus Wales fixture at the moment. All Blacks doing very well, 17-0 in that contest. And Papua New Guinea caught off guard by England. Should play better in the second half, says Joseph. And they already seem like they've made almost more meters than they did in the first 30 minutes of that first half. The no-look pass from Papua New Guinea moving up to halfway now. The tackle counter is still not actually working on the field, but Roderick Tai does nicely back into the pocket. Labert will be putting this ball downfield almost at his Papua New Guinea teammate in the back of the head. Now, it'll be nicely done for England, cleaning it up at the back. I believe it would have been John Bateman. And also we have got there, Hamish just jumped across to your parents. That's your future hairstyle, my friend. Why do you think I leave it long, Darren? Because I know that once it disappears, it's not coming back. And it's not over yet, says Rudolph, and Alarm will score the first try for Papua New Guinea, says Andrew. Now England, they will be attacking once again, moving up to the halfway line. I believe that is their second tackle. The English coach, he doesn't look happy. He never looks happy. Sean Wayne, I should say. He's always going to look the exact same. Going for the 40-20 there. Alex Johnson cleans it up nicely, though. Going down the short side, hit hard in the midfield from Callum Watkins. And Dominic Young looks like he's a little bit slower getting up to his feet as well, Johnson. That one now, Lachlan Lamb going across Papua New Guinea, looking to attack hard at the line here. Papua New Guinea, please consider the playing field. These commentators are us. Sound like Phil Gould biased. Says unknown. I assume that's the English commentators on the coverage at the moment, possibly, or is it myself? I know, do let me know an alarm for this time. And also we have got there, why are you talking? Why isn't the normal commentary talking, says Martin. Pretty much it is down to copyright. If we were to show any match footage or play any audio, they take you straight off YouTube, but they do allow you to do your own commentary for the matches. So that is what we have been doing. Now Labert fires back into the pocket, and it's going to be kicked downfield from Lachlan Lamb 28 metres gained there. Tompkins with a bit of a mistake there. That's one of the first times we've seen England actually make a mistake. And he had the time to still put up his hand and apologise. And then he was absolutely smashed in the tackle by Sylvester Namor. And also one of free Guinness on the Predictor app. Dangerous night, says James Cody. Now Dominic Young trying to spin out of the tackle. Some big shots coming here from Papua New Guinea now, though. The Kummel's firing up for the second. And let's go, the boys come all watching from home. And a Papadetta in Papua New Guinea, says Joey. Now off to the side, another big shot on Callum Watkins. That's about 3 huge hits in a row from the Papua New Guineans. Oh. Hand in after the tackle was complete. Unfortunately, that will be a penalty against Papua New Guinea, which is a big shame because they did seem like they were just starting to build up some momentum. And also we've got there, you and your parents are doing a great job coming in hot. So we can have some commentary at 4:30 a.m. Thanks, heaps, guys. Solid as commitment. Also, AB just scored 10 zip. Says respell. And there's Owen. And it's usually appreciate you guys checking out not just this live stream, but also that one that we have got going with my parents on it. And yeah, we will be actually joining them for the second half of that contest once this one is finished in 35 minutes time. But another attack and run from England. Matty Lees gets that carry there. Going to be held down by Reece Martin. He wasn't too happy in the process as well. Now going off to the short side. Sam Tompkins. In fact, sorry, it was not him. Instead, it was actually John Bateman. Again, looks like a serious injury here for Papua New Guinea. They have had a player stay down, trying to get back up to his feet. But I don't think he will be helping with the defensive side of things. And Hurry, feel confident. And thanks for the commentary, mate, says Lillian. No worries at all. We are going to be doing the other quarterfinal matches that are a little bit later on in the day. Nice step here once again. Now the grubber in behind. Sam Tompkins unable to get it. Instead, Johnny Nutlick does manage to clear it. Actually apologizes to someone in the crowd or the camera woman or man that he almost hit. And I'm sorry to say this, but this World Cup should have been a Tri-Nations tournament between Australia, New Zealand and England. However, to promote the game, I understand the format. There's Darren Smith. We are the land of the unexpected. Hope is there if my boys go the Kummels. And England nearly scored, says Killer B. They certainly did. They were right close to the line, but just managed to miss out on putting in another try. We will go like this, and we will go like this as well. There we go. Just showing those big hits. I think it was actually Simbakin. Unfortunately, he's only just gone out onto the field, and now looks like he will be going off for another possibly HIA here. He's just saying his body wasn't feeling too flash at that one, which was pretty evident because he was just lying there, almost lifeless for a second. So I think they're going to be definitely making sure he is all right to continue. And also we have got there, won't be trust me game has been over since the first half finished and made the best team win. Our best seems to be as England, but Papua New Guinea never say die, says Rocky. And explain the field game now, says Monza. Currently, I believe it's going to be the goal line dropout. Papua New Guinea kicking the ball back into England's hands. But Simbakin so far throughout this match has actually made the 10 tackles. He will be continuing. Tompkins takes it nicely. Charging forward now, it will be Lees. Matty Lees taken down 30 metres out and a good post-contact metres gained, I guess you could say, for Papua New Guinea, actually pushing him back by about 5 or so metres. Now 45 minutes through, the ball has come free. I think he was asking for a penalty. I think it's just going to count as a knock-on, and it will actually be a Papua New Guinea ball there. Bateman not too happy. Alarm is going over to him, and also we have got there goes Simbakin, says Gabby, and also Australia is going to win as always. And I think the Domino's app will be used this evening, says James Cody. You're watching, listening from way back Inga. At least one try will make me sleep well tonight. Go the Kummels, says Mandy York. Yeah, we certainly, I mean, even if the Kummels get one, it would just be a massive success for this matchup. Because don't get me wrong, like there's been moments in this game that they've looked promising, but the problem is they've probably had 3 minutes of greatness compared to England, who have probably had around the 40 minutes where they have looked like they've been dangerous, looking to score and try for Wales, says James Cody in there. So looking like they are starting to fire back a little bit maybe. And the winner of the World Cup is between Tonga and Samoa, and they are actually both playing tomorrow night. We will be covering that game on the channel as well. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The scrum feed's going to be in favour of Papua New Guinea, who feed the ball in. Still 33 minutes left in this matchup. Pape now fires it off to Justin Alarm. Hits it at the line and runs straight at Bateman, the man who he's having a bit of a push and a shove with a little bit ago. Oh, he's injured again, Justin Alarm. I don't think he came into this game at 100%, to be honest. And I don't think he went into the last game or the game before that at 100% either. But he seems to be still getting selected for the side, and it's a risky tactic to be doing such a thing while the player isn't 100%. Now Labour looking for the ball on the outside, almost found the pass, but instead going to be dragged down by Herbie Farnworth. And Aussie will win, says Gabby, in Australia, England in the final. Now back across to the left-hand side, moving up to the fourth tackle now. 45 metres out from their own line here. Papua New Guinea, they will look to use it left. They've got the one last phase. Now Labour, nice inside ball. Oh, dropping a player there. I think that was actually Mickelrum's looking a little bit wobbly. They might have to keep an eye on him as well. He didn't look like he was quite able to keep his feet underneath him there for a second. Now Papua New Guinea, they wanted the 6 more call, but they didn't get it. Reece Martin puts it high. Chasing it hard is Johnny Nutlick. In fact, he's decided to just jog after that one, which means Tompkins got plenty of space to be able to go for this one across field. Tommy Makinson already scoring a hat-trick in this game. Tackled only about 15 metres out from his line. And also Flanagan should have been coach. And also we have got their commentate, please, says Morn in there as well. Currently 48 minutes into this contest. England going off to the short side. It's going to be 6 again. I don't think Papua New Guinea have got themselves a single 6 again call throughout this matchup, whereas we have seen about 3, I believe, in favour of the English. Now another big run forward from Callum Watkins. Moves up to the halfway line. Good tackle made on him by Sylvester Namo. Well, set restarts actually 2-0 they have got now up on the screen. So England having both of those 2 restarts now going off to the short side. Sam Tompkins looking to pierce the gap again for the English. Good attacking run from Mike Cooper. Hey, bro, morning, says Bernardo PNG. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Now back across to the left-hand side. Short ball, almost looking to link up, and they have been able to do just that. Little grubber in behind for the English. It just rolls a bit too far and wasn't quite able to get onto it there. Morgan Knowles rolling round in the wet turf. Also, by the way, the England seems small, or the field seems small, or is it just the camera says Warrior? I know they're on a football field, so I guess maybe it could be actually all of the extra lines that make it look a lot smaller because you've got, I guess, a lot less gap between each of the periods on the field. And Alarm seems to be nervous. I think he's injured. I think he is really struggling at the moment, fitness-wise, and they aren't allowing him to heal because he's too valuable in their lineup. And will you do commentary for New Zealand versus South Africa first semi-final of the World Cup on 9th of November? We'll see how we're going. And we'll see whether or not that other channel that copyright struck us last time is still doing the same thing. And Alarm may be injured. I think he's been injured for a few weeks, but they haven't been willing to take him out of the lineup now. It's going to be back across Papua New Guinea on the short side of the field. Nice attack and run from Nixon. Put 30 minutes left on the clock now. Looks like England might have an injured player in the process here as well. Now Reece Martin trying to go through. In fact, it's going to be Lachlan Lamb. 4th, now 5th and final. A Pape with the little chipper behind. It might be pulling up, does it? No, he has to kick it dead there. Makinson, he wasn't willing to take the risk. And because of it now, it will be another goal line dropout for Papua New Guinea. Unfortunately, that same supporter who's been at every single game is now seeing a Papua New Guinea performance that he won't be too happy with at all. And also, England, please, such a soccer field, says Sebastian there in England, is everyone's second team, or are they, says Darren Smith. I think it depends on where you're from. Like for us in New Zealand, I feel like Australia ends up as the second team just because it's right across the side. And how can I stream live TV on my phone? I would say, depending on whereabouts you are in the world, this is being shown on Spark Sport here in New Zealand. So if you're in New Zealand, Spark Sport is your best bet. Is Watson Boas playing? He is, but he hasn't really been too prominent throughout this match. I don't even know if they've made the interchange to put him out there on the park yet. And fine, Kiwi Samoa final, says Low-Key. And Aussie will pump England, says Uni. And also, bro, do you think if the game is hosted in Australia, Papua New Guinea would have a chance to win, says Bernardo? I think anywhere that there are dry conditions, Papua New Guinea always end up playing a little bit better. The second half has been testament to that a little bit. It looks like the weather has started to dry up a bit, and Papua New Guinea have not conceded throughout the second half. That's going to be the knock-on, though, unfortunately, right on cue when I was complimenting the fact that they hadn't been dropping the ball. 52 minutes through, though, unfortunately, there, Kyle Labert not able to hang on to that one the way that he needed to. He received the pass from Lachlan Lamb, but he was looking up to see who was going to be tackling him. Who's your favourite team in rugby other than the All Blacks? Says Coding. That's a tricky one because there are a lot of good top-level sides in the world of rugby, but I'd probably say maybe Fiji or Samoa, and rugby union, that is. If we're talking for rugby league, I mean, Papua New Guinea have hit a soft spot in my heart lately, just with the way that they've been playing. They seem to be one of those sides that just don't give up no matter what is happening out there on the field. And come on, the Kummels, says Killaby. And there is a nice tackle made by Dan Russell. 53 minutes through this contest now, and England will find themselves 40 metres out from their own line. It's going to be Mike McMeekin with another carry. 52 and a half minutes through in this matchup so far, now going off to the right-hand side. Pape makes another tackle there, now off to the right-hand side for the English. And I'm just thinking back to those first initial couple mistakes that we did end up seeing from Papua New Guinea and how much that momentum built for England off just those couple little moments. If they hadn't happened, who knows what could have happened over the next 5 to 10 minutes of this contest. But now George Williams goes across now once again off to the left-hand side. Farnworth finds the offload on the inside to Sam Tompkins. Keeping it alive. Oh, that's a tip tackle. That's probably going to be a penalty against the Pape, is it? No, he was just slammed onto his back. And it is going to be a legal tackle made 30 metres out from the line. The ball has gone high. And Makinson just not quite able to get onto that one. It has ended up going dead. Now Papua New Guinea are going to have themselves the tap from the 20-metre line. Break the egg, please, says Philip, and also Tonga and Australia. Definitely. Now you have to tipping to go through to the grand final for me. It's Kiwis and the Kangaroos. Says Piranara PG or PNG. They are actually on the same side of the draw, believe it or not. So they can't actually play each other in the grand final, sadly. But they can play each other in the semi-final, which could be what we see if New Zealand are able to beat Fiji. But for me, I think it's Australia, England at the moment for myself. Yes, there's a good chance that we will see one of the Pacific Island sides make their way through, but they've also got to make sure that they beat this English side that are really looking good throughout their games. And bro, New Zealand will pump Fiji, says Luciano, although the last time they played in the Rugby League World Cup was actually 4-2 in favour of the Fijians and Piranata PNG. And also we were there, Kiwile, my gratitude for your good humour. Such an inspiration for the Kummels, says Joshua there. And also good morning, Hamish, mum and dad, doing a great job covering the All Blacks, says Joshua. Yeah, they did get up very early for that matchup, and we will be joining them in the second half of the game, although currently it looks relatively close. Wales actually sitting 17 points to 10 down at the moment, so the All Blacks with a 7-point winning margin at this point in the match. Now 25 minutes left in this game, and England once again find themselves on attack from 25 metres out from the Kummels line. We've hit a bit of a stalemate here. No one's scoring tries, although England, they are now looking to break that. Some nice quick stepping from John Bateman. The draw and pass is going to be slapped down, I believe, by Kyle Labour, and it will be a scrum now for the English. Again, close game, 17 points to 10, and thanks for the heads up, Chris Seo, says Piranata PG, or PNG, I should say. But yeah, Wales looking like they're keeping up with the Principality at the moment. Currently 55 minutes through. England, I don't think they're tired. It just seems to be that they haven't been able to break their way through. And what have you done to your parents? They look exhausted. They did end up getting up at about 4 a.m. to be able to cover that game of New Zealand versus Wales. So if you guys are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to donate over there for them as they are getting all revenue from that stream. And also this one, to be fair, I am going to be giving them for getting up at the early hour of the morning. New Zealand go into touch. Or sorry, it was England who almost went into touch, but somehow they've been able to keep the ball alive, and Alex Johnson has to jump on it for the Kummels. And will Papua New Guinea have a chance after this match? Unfortunately, this is the only game that they could possibly, if they win it, they go through. If they lose, sadly, they do not. And it seems like at the moment they won't quite have enough time to be able to go on and get themselves the victory. I hope Papua New Guinea will at least have a decent team to play against next World Cup. There's Luciano. Now going back across here. Nice fin from the Kummels, dragged down by the shirt. And a tackle by Jack Wellesby. He's being dropped, and that's going to be the penalty in favour of England for, I believe it was Nixon Put just getting a little bit too fired up after the reset. And like they are saying, there was no need to push the player over the way that he did, and it got him into trouble. OMG says Isaac can also alarm rest for some while when Wayne Barnes is the ref for the AB's game. Never forget that forward pass in 2007, says Junior Ryder. I can't believe it because it seems whatever time I tune into the Kiwi Lads, you're commentating. Brilliant commentary, thank you, says Darren Smith. And we have still got plenty more coming up later on in the night. We are going to be doing the rest of New Zealand versus Wales once this game is over. Also Ireland versus South Africa. And then after that, New Zealand versus Fiji in the third quarterfinal matchup of the Rugby League World Cup. Now going off to the short side. Bit of draw and pass opening up now for the Kiwis. I keep on calling them the Kiwis, but it is England. And how the F did England get the penalty, says Luciano. So it was for the leg grab that we did see from Nixon Put. He did end up taking down the guy and dropping him on his back. Now England starting to find a bit of a gap here. This could be the first try of the second half. If they do get a right out wide, Makinson will get another. And that's going to be his 4th try of the match now. I'm seeing a lot of poor decisions by the ref. Clearly the ref has taken the England side. And no, they scored. It's over, says Luciano. And also alarm must go inside. Says Philip and try for the ABs. Says James Cody. And there as well. But another great try for England, sitting now 42-0. Very similar scoreline to what we saw in their game up against the Samoans. And that could be the rematch, depending on how the rest of this match does end up going. And also that next match between Samoa and Tonga, that is going to be tomorrow night. And we will also be covering that on the Kiwi Lads channel. But the penalty goes against Nixon Put initially, or Nixon Put, sorry, I should say. And then from there, it just ended up being a little bit of a bump off that we did see there on Dan Russell. And then they continued to drive. England are way too strong for Papua New Guinea, with all respect, and could hear you talking in the background, says Gabby Mark. And there's yeah, I'm relatively loud, unfortunately, and because we are right next to each other's rooms, it does mean that they will pick up a little bit of what I am saying. But that is the link for that live stream that they are doing over there in the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen, between the All Blacks and Wales. Be sure to check it out. Tell them I said hi. As well, England is bad refs and Touchy's too biased. England is trash, says unknown. And there as well. Now, it's going to be Tommy Makinson. He's got 26 points so far throughout this matchup, 22 points to 10. Geordie is a gun at 12. Maybe we need that steady 12 and 13 combination with Geordie and Rico, says Junior Ryder. It's certainly an option. I wish I could watch it in Germany, says Mike's. Oh, not too sure what the options would be in Germany for it. I know that the Rugby League World Cup website will have where you can watch it for. And what was that penalty for, says Gemma? So pretty much it was for after Nixon Put had been tackled. When he got back up, he ended up pushing over the English player. And pretty much they did decide that it was enough contact that it was a little bit of, I guess, I don't even know what they call that penalty, but pretty much it was for foul play off the ball after getting back up to his feet. And second half, my prediction score for Papua New Guinea will be 24, says Matthew in Heartbreak. Please crack the egg. Feeling like sleeping, says Philip there. Yeah, can we see Papua New Guinea break this nil that they find themselves on currently, or will it be still sitting at a total of nil for the Papua New Guineans? I would like to see England come and play against Papua New Guinea and Papua New Guinea Port Moresby. That would be an absolutely awesome game. Who knows, maybe one day we will get to see it happen. Now it's going to be another run forward from John Bateman. He's been busy throughout this matchup. I think they've just mentioned that Tom Burgess is back on the field for the English, so that is something that the Papua New Guineans will have to try and defend again. Chris Hill also back out on the field, and he is replacing Mike Cooper, who has now gone off as the 7th interchange player for the English. So they're using them relatively early. Another nice step from John Bateman. Another big fend from Bateman as well, trying to break through up to 45 metres out from the Papua New Guinea line now. Now going off to the right. Hit them behind from Sam Tompkins. Getting plenty of height on that one. Alex Johnson takes it. Can he get something going for Papua New Guinea? Tries to break the line. He just doesn't seem to have the space that he normally does throughout the NRL, I should say. And in England, we lose Papua New Guinea Rugby League and have the utmost respect for them, says Darren. Oh, sorry, we love Papua New Guinea, and they are running out of time. They need to score, says Luciano, and now working hard. That looked a little bit too high in the tackle from Dominic Young. Oh, was he forced down? No, he just gets back up to his feet and goes again. That was Watson Boas. Now off to the right-hand side once again for the Kummels. And Papua New Guinea goes down to the English, but our hopes are still with our Pacific brothers, Tonga, Fiji, and Samoa, says Taylor. And England are too strong. And they've had a very good performance throughout this matchup. They did score a total of 30. I believe it was 38 points in that first half. But now in the second, they haven't been scoring as freely as what we have seen in past games. Sam Tompkins now going to be on top of Kyle Labour. Puts his hand in his face as well just to rub it in a bit more. Going off to the short side for the English now driving at the line. 20 metres out now. Do some kicking game, chip and chase, says Jeff in there. Yeah, I think it's just been the lack of position that's really been costing Papua New Guinea throughout this game. The wide cutout pass is going to be grubbered forward, nicely taken. I believe that was Dan Russell who was able to jump on the ball. And now It is going to be Papua New Guinea having themselves just that little bit of possession. 62 minutes in. Makinson, though, he has had a phenomenal game, getting himself the 4 tries throughout the fixture, and also hopefully Fiji can beat New Zealand, says Luciano, and that game is going to be taking place in only another 3.5 hours' time. We will actually be covering that game on the channel as well, so anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated, and it is going to be a very entertaining matchup to watch between New Zealand and Fiji. Alex Johnson hitting the ball up again for the Kummels, and Kummels wire, says Perenara there, and hopefully Fiji can beat New Zealand. And there, a little bit of a cross kick, I think it was, from Papua New Guinea. Now kicking it back downfield. It's going to be 5th and final, 25 metres gained throughout that set. Now, Dom Young, he's only scored himself 1 try throughout this game, which is a little bit light for Dom Young compared to what we've seen in a few of his other games so far. In this World Cup, he has played 4 matches, and he has scored himself a total of 9 points. But that actually came straight off the face of the number 16, Matty Lees. No wonder it bounced straight across the field towards one of the other Papua New Guinean players, but currently on the halfway line, England once again up to their second tackle. Hit up by Callum Watkins, tackled by the replacement Watson Boas. And how many minutes left, says Judy John at the moment? It is sitting with 16.5 minutes left in this fixture. Now Hill hitting it up again. Another tackle made by Boas, who looks like he's been relatively busy since making his way out onto the park. Now Bateman tries to step, almost breaks his way through, tries to get back up to his feet, but Justin Alarm has been able to take him down now. Now 5th and final, 51 metres gained for England there. Tompkins puts the ball high. Dom Young doesn't look like he's really after it. Papua New Guinea, a mix-up between the 2 players, Johnson and Nutlick, and that pretty much sums up Papua New Guinea's game right there. And also we have got there 22 points to 13 ABs. It's halftime, and England is probably going to play against Tonga in the semis. And everyone in the country are up watching this game. And boys, forget his kicking game. OMG, says Elton. And at the moment, I'd have to say Papua New Guinea, it seems like the catching game have really not done too well. And also we have got there, Hamish, interesting to note that you personally are covering rugby league, and your parents are superbly covering rugby union. Does this demonstrate your preference of codes? Says Darren, I wouldn't really say so. I think it's more of the case, though, of that my parents would definitely rather watch a game of rugby union than rugby league, definitely because it was the All Blacks, but it was more of the case of just how it worked out. Because theoretically, with this game being earlier in the night, it meant that they could sleep in a little bit longer if I do this one, whereas they do the All Blacks game, if that makes sense. All right, but yeah, we have got a couple more overlaps in the future as well. I should mention Mark Hunt was eating cheesecake when Sonny Bill called him out. Nick Minute says, Nate, yeah, I saw the highlight of that fight. Tonga versus Samoa is going to be the most watched game, says Luciano. Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely incredible one between the 2 Pacific Island sides. I believe that's going to be another set restart in favour of England. So now Wilby McMeekin gets back up to his feet. Williams, inside ball nicely to Hill, trying to attack the line. Good low tackle made on him by Mackenzie Yeh. We've hardly seen Wellington Albert in this game, I will mention as well. I think he did go off earlier on in the interchange, and I don't think we've seen a return now. Tried to get the kick away there for England. Interesting choice, going for a tackle or a kick on only the second tackle. Really love to see a Pacific team like Samoa or Tonga go into the grand final. And Watson, please do some kicking game, says Jeff. And there as well. Now, like they're saying, a few more errors starting to creep in from the English. How much more time remaining, says Roger. At the moment, there is still another 14 minutes left on the clock. Justin Alarm got feelings, so he makes a lot of mistakes, says Benjamin. And there, but yeah, I think he is also carrying an injury for this matchup, which I think makes it a little bit harder for him to be able to play his best rugby. And also, Cool says Stanza. And then also the Kummel says George. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for the quarterfinal a little bit later on today between New Zealand and Fiji. And also alongside that, we are going to have our matchup that has taken place between Samoa and Tonga the night after. And also we're doing South Africa Island. So plenty more rugby coming up on the channel, including Rugby League and Rugby Union. Now, currently sitting 66.5 minutes through this contest here for Papua New Guinea. They want to try and get themselves some form of points on the board. England, they'll be looking to bring up that 50, but now nice backline. Justin Alarm just bumps off one tackle, but gets driven close to the touchline there. Win or loss, we had done our best. And Justin Alarm plays for dollars, not Kinna, says Angeli there. And also we have got there, hopefully one does that, Criseo. Now kick downfield. England looking to regather, and they have been able to take it just inside of their own half. It is going to be Makinson, and player who they will certainly be wanting to have for the semi and then the final if they make it that far for the English, because he has been very good throughout this game. Him and Dan Russell just having a bit of a chat there. I think he's a bit frustrated, saying that Dan Russell maybe spun him a little bit further than he would have liked to be spun. And also over there's not a lot happening on the field. I'm not denying the many ball handling mistakes by the Kumuls. Also their slow to attack attitudes. I just can't wait. I just wait to see England play Tonga or Aussie soon, says Nora. And yeah, I think maybe the wetness of the game has also made it a bit trickier to get that, I guess, free-flowing rugby going that we have seen in the past from Papua New Guinea. I'd have to say, like, they just don't seem to have that quite acceleration they normally would, if that makes sense. And also, favourite time of the year, cold, the smell of alcohol, people chatting absolute about the rugby, says James Cody. And also, we look at the Tonga or Samoa will be world champions, says Criseo. It seems like they want a captain's challenge here. They're going to be going upstairs just to check if there was anything. Okay, so from this angle, it doesn't look like Papua New Guinea did interfere in the fact that that ball was dropped. But they might have another look at this one. Right, this angle's also not going to show it. They're just checking to see whether or not there was a little mistake on the ground and whether or not Papua New Guinea had anything to do with it. Got one from the far side is what Adam G on the touch judge is asking for. Right, this angle will show it. So there's a hand on the ball. Hand is locked on to the hand. Oh, okay. So Herbie actually does end up dropping that ball. So Farnworth did have the mistake there. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful. So I believe it is going to be the scrum fee for Papua New Guinea now. And yes, says Mike's, and is it mathematically possible for Papua New Guinea to win? I would say not from here, sadly. Is it mathematically possible for them to get a try on this? Definitely. Definitely, if they can get themselves driving forward here in this play. They've got 5 tackles from about the halfway line. This is probably their best chance of the half almost. And Papua New Guinea, Kumuls, your country. People are watching you. At least one number will be all right, says Rocky D. And yeah, this try, if they can get one, it will just be for the people who have stayed up late to watch them play. 11 errors so far from Papua New Guinea. That has certainly been costing them. England, once again, though, defensively sound in their tackling. Dominic Young able to make the tackle there. It was almost a 6-more call. Boas did take the contact there. Lee's gone off the field, and that is going to be for Tom Burgess. Big Tom Burgess already scoring a try in this contest. Want to lose? You are a pride regardless. Just one try so people can sleep with some peace tonight, says Nancy. And also, who said Papua New Guinea would win, says James. A lot of people were hoping we would see this Papua New Guinea side really fire throughout this matchup, but sadly, it just hasn't really been the case. Seems like more of the case of England just being a bit too strong. And a country of 9 million are all watching. Make them proud, says Luciano. And guys, let's not pretend this ain't our day. By the way, thanks, Kumuls boys, for coming this far. Me sleep pattern or pattern, says Waria there. Now going for the kick. It's gone straight into touch off the bounce. And now I believe they might actually end up with this ball here, Papua New Guinea. Will they? No. I think it is just going to be... Yeah, it came off the foot of England, so surely that is going to be Papua New Guinea's ball. Yep, straight off the foot of the English player. This has got to be Papua New Guinea's ball. Yes, it is. They have gone their way, and confidence got lost. But love my Kumuls, says Philip. And also one more try, or one try from Papua New Guinea, please. And now they're going to be crashing hard at the line. It is Sylvester Namo. Now it's more of the question of, can Papua New Guinea break through this defence just the once? The draw and pass is good. They've gone for the kick on first, and it's going to be sitting up. I think it's the try. Papua New Guinea. Boy, he's hit that barricade hard. But Johnny Nutlick, or Jimmy Nutlick, sorry, I believe, has been able to get the first try of the match for Papua New Guinea. And that is something they've been waiting a total of 69 minutes to be able to say, we have finally crossed the try line. But Jimmy Nutlick, good work from him. 3 tries in the Rugby League World Cup 2021 competition so far. Goes in for Papua New Guinea. So the good news is Papua New Guinea will not be finishing this game with 0. But kicking it on first was a risky tactic. But Jimmy Nutlick able to jump onto it nicely. Whacks into the barricade in the process as well. And finally, a miracle, says Luciano. And there as well. Like they've said, the ball just seemed like it wanted to keep on running away from Nutlick, but then just, I mean, if they look at that again, his foot may have been in touch. But I really hope they don't go back and have a look at it, because if they did, no, that's fine. From that angle, that is completely fine for Jimmy Nutlick. And also one problem Wales have, ABs have statistically top-tier level for the first 20 minutes of the second half, says James. And that's it, says Nancy. And also we were there, thanks, tears, fellas. Or thanks, tears, fall, says Philip there. And sigh of relief and a miracle. And thank you so much. At least we had a try scored. And there, says Roger. And the 6 is going to be added. That is a brilliant kick from the touchline from Reece Martin, which now makes the score 42 points to 6. Still in favour of England, but that is certainly one that Papua New Guinea, they needed. They erupted with the way that it did end up going. Now 9 minutes left on the clock. Can Papua New Guinea get themselves possibly another try? And this is enough to make the crowd go wild, says Luciano. Now another big carry forward from Papua New Guinea. Getting driven backwards. Do you think Jordan will own that 15 jersey now since Jordy has moved into the midfield? There's a good possibility. He just needs to come back from his ear infection, Will Jordan. And then maybe he can lock that one in. Now, trying to break through the line there. 23,000 in attendance for this game. Actually a record for this ground. That is pretty awesome. They have been able to see so many scores, so many tries being scored. The second half, Papua New Guinea played very well compared to the first half, says Benjamin. Yeah, if you look at the second half score, it's actually 4 points for England, 6 for Papua New Guinea. So the second half-wise points, they actually got more than England so far. But it's just that first half that really hurt them big time. 8 minutes left, though, in this game. England now trying to pierce their way through the defensive line, but they have been tackled well. Once again, Kummel's getting annihilated, so disappointing. See, here's Rich there. Now England off to the side once again. I feel like Farnworth isn't too far away from getting his own try here in this contest. It's my prediction anyway. We'll see whether or not we can get it correct. Another big run from Tom Burgess. Third tackle now for the English, going off to the right-hand side, going off to Sam Tompkins. Now a little inside ball off to Bateman. Moves up to only about 8 meters out from the line, and be happy they at least scored, says Luciano. They're now going off to the side. One more tackle up the sleeve. Nicely taken by Williams, who actually manages to slide back to his feet quite nicely. And the rough pass that he did receive. 7 minutes left on the clock. Radley now going off to the short side. Tompkin with the grubber, and behind it, stolen by Papua New Guinea. And now down the wing, Dan Russell. Oh, he just slides into touch. It's too slippery to be going that close to the touchline. And good news, boys. But put more strength, and thanks to was at least one try for everyone watching this morning, 2 a.m. Papua New Guinea time, says John. And yeah, it is hugely appreciated, everyone who has got up at this random hour of the morning for Papua New Guinea to be able to tune into this game. I'm sure the country and the side are very happy to have you watching them. Even if the result hasn't gone their way, it's been a successful Rugby League World Cup, I would say, for Papua New Guinea with the way that they have been playing throughout this matchup. And now still 6.5 minutes left in the contest. Maybe, just maybe, they can get themselves another try before we do get to the end of the competition. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you do enjoy rugby union, we have got an All Blacks versus Wales live stream going on the channel currently. And that is actually the link. And we will be transferring over to that live stream as soon as this one is finished. I will be moving to the other room, and we will be continuing along with the commentary with my parents. Papua New Guinea have played so mediocre. I'll play in this quarterfinal, says Coding. Yeah, unfortunately, they just haven't quite been able to find that momentum that they normally do in a game of rugby league. Now England going with the short ball, close to the line now, up to third. Looking at who's lurking. I did say that Farnworth would score. Questioning whether or not that is going to be correct. Now Tompkins, ball on the outside, skip pass. It's going to be out to Makinson once again. That is going to be his 5th try now. He is on absolute fire for this contest. We saw Josh Adokar score 5 in the last match for the Australians up against Lebanon. And Bruce, says Luciano, and yes, with you, says Philip down Papua New Guinea. Shell Shock never turned up to play. Very disappointing. And also we have got there, England scored again, says Luciano. They certainly did. And now they'll be looking to try and get themselves towards that 50 points on the board. And a short turnaround between games for Papua New Guinea didn't help, says Chris Seo. And there as well, Yeah, I think they still had a couple players who might have had injuries lurking on themselves. But Makinson, he has been on fire throughout this matchup. And what does the other quarterfinals do? All Blacks in the semi-finals. So the next matchup is going to be Fiji versus New Zealand. That is at 8:30 a.m. New Zealand time. We will be doing that game straight after Ireland versus South Africa ends. And that is another game we will be covering on the channel. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, it is hugely appreciated, everyone tuning into this live stream. And also the other one that we have got on the channel as well. And embarrassing, says Stanley Lowe. Although making it through to the quarterfinal, I think for one thing, was pretty impressive from Papua New Guinea. They were a side that I think a lot of people underestimated. They felt that they were going to be able to go far in this competition after making it to the quarters, but unfortunately getting matched up with the home favourites who have been in some of the best form we have seen England in a long time was always going to be tough to win this game. Of course, by 40 points is probably not the margin they were after. Right, Makinson just going to be lining up this kick. He did have to move one of the microphones right next to the field, which is why it has taken him a little bit of time to line it up. The question is, will it end up working out for Makinson, though? Getting away from behind from one of the supporters. He struck it pretty well. It's hit the post and it's come back out. So unsuccessful conversion for Makinson there, sitting 46 points to 6. England still with the lead, and England going to be tough to beat, says Docoreda. Exactly right. Their next game up against either Samoa or Tonga. You'd have to say England will definitely also come in as favourites for that matchup. Makinson, 5 tries for him in this one, and believe in yourself, boys, says Roger. So I guess the question now, with 3.5 minutes left on the clock, a yes or no, ladies and gentlemen, will there be another try in this fixture for either England or Papua New Guinea? Do let me know. They played Tuesday before this quarterfinal. So there's Chris Seo there, dropped on the back there. Oh, a few elbows and a few things thrown in there as well from Reece Martin, and now tempers are starting to flare. Papua New Guinea not too happy. It looks like there's a bit of side control going on at the moment. It's turned into MMA. Reece Martin got ground control at the moment. That's going to be an extra point in the judge's eyes. And now all the players huddling up, not too happy at all. And also we have got there in the chat, England isn't that tough for Australia or New Zealand, says your mum. Hello, mum. How are you going? And is that your parents on the All Blacks game, says Dame? It certainly is. So they have got up at the very early morning hour to be able to cover that game. So anyone who hasn't already, be sure to go check out that live stream as well that we have got on the channel. That is actually the one that I will be joining as soon as we are finished this one, pretty much. The best way of describing it. So I think that's going to be England's ball now for a little bit longer. They want to go upstairs and have a look at this one. Makinson just having a bit of a yell at a couple of his teammates, telling them to keep composed for the final 3 or so minutes of this contest. So Reece Martin, he dropped him onto his back. Then from there, it looked like the English player just tried to get him in the face with an elbow. He was just rubbing it around his face. So then didn't really get too happy with the man on the ground. And then they had a little bit of a chat there as well. But yeah, he was just trying to elbow him, trying to cut him open by the looks of it there for the English player. And then he got a bit sick of it. And then I think he tried to drop down onto him. Yeah, he tried to drive into him with a bit of control. And also, what's the score like, says Moses, at the moment, sitting 46 points to 6. I don't think there's any point into commentating this anymore. Papua New Guinea literally are annihilated. So disappointing, says Mum there. And also, my eyes are burning, margin up, says Elton. I have hope with the Tongans to show them real footy. And yep, that's what I wanted. Another one. Boys, make it 12. I expect an upset. I expected an upset, says your mum there. And also, Kummel still need improvements when it comes to the teams like Australia, Kiwis, and England, etc. That's actually going to be a penalty in favour of Papua New Guinea. So that was due to that little bit of dirty play we saw on the ground from England with the elbow rubbing in the face of Reece Martin. And now another late attacking chance for Papua New Guinea. The question now is, can they get themselves maybe over the line here for the second time in this matchup? We will have to wait and see. But now, sitting 78.5 minutes through this one, back across to the left-hand side here for Papua New Guinea. An attack and run from Labert. Doesn't find the offload off, though. And no surprises there. Makinson does actually get himself man of the match after scoring 5 tries in the game. He certainly deserves it with the way that he has been playing. But now it is going to be another run forward for Mackenzie Yeh. Watson Boas going to have that one available. It's going to be another set restart. Lay it. I hope Papua New Guinea don't decide to kick this one early in the set. They've got a minute left on the clock to try and get themselves one last try in this contest. Now Boas gives it off now nicely. Oh, that ball's going to be dropped, unfortunately, for Papua New Guinea. England just willing to sacrifice that one and knock it forward so that it can be the scrum feed in favour of the English. Little bit of push and shove also going on out there between Alex Johnson and John Bateman. That ball has just been taken down. The referee has stopped the clock again. It seems like maybe Excite is considering a captain's challenge here. Oh, it's actually going to be a scrum feed for Papua New Guinea by the looks of it. It's like a little bit of an injury. Or sorry, it's a captain's challenge from Papua New Guinea here. So there's going to be a little bit more time. The thing is, it's an interesting one to try and challenge when there's only 20 seconds left on the clock. But I guess the other side of things is, like, when you've only got one last crack in this matchup, you might as well just go for it completely, like all or nothing for the final little moment in the contest. So they're trying to say that maybe it was a two-man strip. Okay. So Radley was making the tackle. He hits the arm of the Papua New Guinean player who was looking to offload. So this will be an unsuccessful challenge. How is everyone doing? What a sleep anyway, says he. That is a great question, mate. And I think we're going to be finding out this afternoon. I think is when we get our next sleep, or after a couple more hours of live stream. We have still got Ireland versus South Africa, and then after that we will be doing New Zealand versus Fiji in the Rugby League World Cup. So there is still plenty more coming up on the channel. We've also got the live stream going on with my parents at the moment in the other room. That is the game between Wales and the All Blacks. Currently 22 points for the All Blacks, 16 for Wales. It's kicked in behind Makinson, considering going for a 6, but the ball has gone into touch, and I believe now with only 10 seconds left on the clock, there will just be the one phase here. Okay, the ball's out of play. Players are shaking hands, and that is going to be the game over. England victorious. They will win this game 46 points to 6, and they will move on to the semi-final to face either Samoa or Tonga, the winner of that contest. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Papua New Guinea, this wasn't their game, but they've certainly had an impressive Rugby League World Cup campaign, and I hope to see them still making more progress in the future as well. A country of 9 million people stayed up just to watch this. There's your mum. But that's the thing. Rugby League, it's unpredictable. They were always coming in as underdogs, $10 underdogs, in fact, for this matchup. England coming in as heavy favourites, and they did show exactly why with back-to-back tries in that first half. 38-0 at halftime. And now, the end of the game, it was 46 points to 6. But thank you all very much for tuning in. What we will be doing now, ladies and gentlemen, is we will be popping over to our next live stream on the channel, which is actually the All Blacks versus Wales game. And it has currently been going on the channel already for a little while. That is the link. This live stream will take you straight over to there. It is in the other room of the house with my parents. I will be transitioning to that other room in a very short moment. And then we will be continuing the live stream from there. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to check that one out. Talk to us all about the All Blacks versus Wales, and also about what happened for Papua New Guinea and England as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.